Is in at 14. The Blue Knights Saturday night lost a tough game to Dallas. Still a fine squad there. Oh, how about those lovable Quakers? 13-2, 6-1 behind Southern Columbia in the Mid-Penn Conference. In at 12, GAR, the Grenadiers, lost that first half playoff in Division II, playing the Wyoming Valley Conference. In at 11, another team that unfortunately did not win the Southern Division first half crown, the Comets, fell to earth against Dunmore Friday night. Abington Heights is in at 11. Here's our top 10. Nanticoke, they are currently, or were currently, tied for Hazleton for second place in Division I play, of course, right behind Coughlin. In at 9, Hanover area, Joe Ryan's done a fine job so far with that squad this season in his first year at Hanover. In at 8, Honesdale, the Hornets lost a tough ball game to Valley View, a game that you saw right here on PCTN. Dunmore is at 7. They won the first half title in the Southern Division of the Lackawanna League. In at 6, Myers, they KO'd both Hanover and GAR for the first half Division II title. The only team that is undefeated so far this season in our viewing area, as far as our top 20 is concerned, it's Southern Columbia. They have a perfect 13-0 record. Hazleton area is in at 4, finished in second place to Coughlin, a team that they're playing tonight in Division I play in the first half. Valley View is at 3. The Cougars beat Honesdale Friday night, for the Northern Division crown. Two champions have 2-1, and it's O'Reilly at 2, the Queensmen, with the Division III champs, which means the team on the top, number 1, the Coughlin Crusaders, they hold that top spot yet again for one more week. Well, we've got basketball action coming up right here on PCTN. Bishop, Hayfie, and Wyoming area. The ball game coming up in just a few minutes. We will take a break and then send it to Wyoming Area High School, where Roger Snyder and Neil Bennett will have the call, and we will see you at halftime, everyone. Enjoy the game.
This savory story begins in Salerno, Italy, where Angelo and Anna met and brought their dreams and classic Italian food to Angelo's Italian House in Hazleton. Escape to the taste of Italy with homemade ravioli, veal steaks, chicken marsala, and mushroom and wine sauce. Always fresh and made to order. Taste the sultry desserts, cappuccino or espresso, imported fine wines and beers. And for lunch, the delicious homemade soups, pastas, and great sandwiches, only $3.95. Angelo's Italian House at 10th and Alta Streets in Hazleton, a classic Italian restaurant rich in tradition.
Pros wear Russell Athletic because it's made tough. It has to be.
Hey, kid! Hey, you got my lucky jersey.
Yeah?
Can I have it back?
You gotta be kidding. No!
You want athletic wear that can survive anything? Get Russell Athletic. Get tough.
Battaglia Sporting Goods, headquarters for NFL clothing by Russell, Apex, and Starter.
You're watching PCTN, the Pioneer Community Television Network. In the past, we've given you what you've wanted to see in local programs, and we want to hear from you again. Tell us what you would like to see on PCTN, or just tell us what you think of our programming. Send your comments to PCTN, 750 Thompson Street, Suite 2, P.O. Box 2188, Hazleton, Pennsylvania, 18201. Or call us. Our number is 459-1869. We appreciate all your comments.
Everybody, and welcome here to Wyoming Area High School, where tonight the Bishop Hayfie Vikings will tangle with the Warriors of Wyoming Area. We welcome you here. I'm Roger Snyder alongside Neil Bennett. A couple of ball clubs here that are looking to get started on the right track in terms of the second half. And Neil Bennett, that's why we play halves.
That's right. And particularly here in high school ball, the situation the way it is, you're able to have a bad start and improve. And what you're afraid of if you have a good start is you go the other way. So it's a possibility of two teams going in opposite directions from one half to the other. And last night up in the Lackawanna League, Scranton Prep started off against North Pocono. North Pocono had a very tough first half. Scranton Prep came on strong, and North Pocono beat Scranton Prep at Prep. So second halves are underway. Wyoming Area won their opener Saturday night against Westside Tech. So They've already played one game. They're 1-0 in the second half. Hayfie lifts the lid here tonight.
In terms of Wyoming area, new coach, first year, C.J. Buffalino, spent 8 years down at Wyoming Seminary. And Neil, when you talk about putting in new systems, and that's what he did when he came here, he put in a new system. What exactly does that mean?
Well, you're looking at C.J. there now to the left of your screen. C.J. worked under a system down at Wyoming Seminary where they had a big guy in the rakus the last few years. They had the good guards. They moved the ball pretty well. Here what he has is a very good sophomore who's 6'5". That's the system that he'd like to put in. Go to the big guy, have somebody with some strength in the middle, but he's got a very young team this year. He's only dressing one senior here tonight, and that's the main part. It's a regrouping situation, and in putting in his system, he's really doing what he can to take advantage of the players that he has right now and building with youth because he's going to be here a while and he wants to go with the guys that will be there. There's the Warriors lead overall. They're 3-13, 2-7 in the league, 1-7 in the first half, 1-0 here in the second half.
The big sophomore Neil was talking about, Kevin Vinkavage, as you get a look at the respective scores. And that's exactly what guys are looking not to do here in the second half. They want to see those numbers turned around. Ron Gerlach there of Bishop Hayfie now in his second year at the helm. And you get an idea here of exactly what Bishop Hayfie did during the course of their first half of the season as you get a look at these respective scores. And you got to be a little bit surprised, Neil Bennett, with Hanover taking him 2 overtimes to come away with a win. Hanover pretty potent.
That's definitely the truth, Roger. What you had in that Hanover game, you had an early game up at Hayfie, and the Vikings came out on top of the Hawks in that one. 2 overtimes, though, and from there, Hanover went right on up and started to fly.
Well, prior to the start of tonight's game, we had an opportunity to talk with both coaches, and here is what Ron Gerlach had to say about his ball club. Ron Gerlach, the last time we met up with you, you were looking for consistency in your ball club, and you had provided some exciting finishes. How goes it?
Right now, we're playing a lot of younger people, and they're being very consistent, especially our sophomores. Myers and DeCosmo at the guard spots, really consistent. Myers right now is our probably our leader in points and fouls, and doing a great job as a sophomore. Younger people are big juniors, Sturba and Stark. Again, they're the twin anchors. How they go, we go, and they've been playing very well right now.
As you take a look at Wyoming area coming in here, this is a team that you really kind of need to beat.
Yes, this starts our second half. We were X'd out with Myers being in the playoff on Saturday. Start of the second half. We have great shot here. We match up well both with their big people, their great guard. I think Mike Riddle is just a super guard. And Vinkavage, their sophomore, really coming along and playing well. We respect them. Hopefully we're going to get that consistency tonight.
Ron, give us the key to the ball game.
Ball game, if we shoot well and rebound well and our guards get it to our big people, we will win.
Ron, thanks for stopping by.
Okay, thank you very much, Roger.
Okay, good luck. Neil Bennett, one of the things that Ron Gerlach talked about were those twin anchors, and certainly they have a bit of a height advantage here tonight.
They definitely have the height through the Vikings, and just as he said, if they can get the ball inside, they should win. This is the only meeting between these two clubs. Wyoming area is a member of Division II of the Wyoming Valley League, Hayfie Division III. The clubs cross over, but they only meet once, so they will not meet at Hayfie, nor did they meet in the first half. So this is it for those clubs this year. It counts in the standings, but it's a one-time only this season.
We had mentioned to you that Wyoming area started the year with a new coach, C.J. Buffalino. Here were his thoughts on tonight's ball game. C.J. Buffalino, you make it in here your first year, and anytime you take on a new program as a new coach, what were the challenges that you faced coming in?
Well, the challenges obviously were putting in my system here at a school that's had about 5 or 6 coaches over the last 7 years. So we had to install a new system once again, and we're just learning that at this time in the season, midterm in the season. But the kids are coming on. We have a young team, and so we're looking forward to the years ahead in the second half of the season.
As we start the second half here tonight, how do you see that system being implemented? Has it come along the way that you've thought, and have the kids caught on?
It came along a little slower than I thought, but the kids have caught on, and this is a big game for us tonight. If we can win tonight, we put ourselves in a chance to get a jump up on some of the other teams in the division, and it's a very tough division from top to bottom.
One of the big things about playing any kind of a league in halves is the fact that it gives you that second opportunity, and you got to be looking forward to that. What's the key to the ball game tonight?
Okay, the key to the ball game tonight for us is defense, stopping their 6-7 forward, and if we can do that and rebound the ball, good defense is always the key to our success.
CJ, thanks for stopping by. Good luck to you here at Wyoming area.
Thank you very much.
Well, originally in this spot, we had thought that tonight we may have the Coughlin-Hazleton game for you. Unable to get together with school officials to agree on the starting time of the telecast, so we say thank you to Tom Vaxmonsky for inviting us in here to Wyoming area. It's going to be the Vikings of Bishop Hayfie and the Warriors of Wyoming area up next.
The story begins in Salerno, Italy, where Angelo and Anna met and brought their dreams and classic Italian food to Angelo's Italian house in Hazleton. Escape to the taste of Italy with homemade ravioli, veal steaks, chicken marsala, and mushroom and wine sauce. Always fresh and made to order. Taste the sultry desserts, cappuccino or espresso, or imported fine wines and beers. And for lunch, the delicious homemade soups, pastas, and great sandwiches, only $3.95. Angelo's Italian house at 10th and Alta Streets in Hazleton, a classic Italian restaurant rich in tradition.
Pros wear Russell Athletic because it's made tough. It has to be.
Hey, kid! Hey, you got my lucky jersey.
Yeah?
Can I have it back?
You gotta be kidding. No!
You want athletic wear that can survive anything? Get Russell Athletic. Get tough.
Battaglia Sporting Goods, headquarters for NFL clothing by Russell Apex and Starter.
You're watching PCTN, the Pioneer Community Television Network. In the past, we've given you what you've wanted to see in local programs, and we want to hear from you again. Tell us what you would like to see on PCTN, or just tell us what you think of our programming. Send your comments to PCTN, 750 Thompson Street, Suite 2, P.O. Box 2188, Hazleton, Pennsylvania, 18201. Or call us. Our number is 459-1869. We appreciate all your comments.
Well, during the course of our pregame, we talked about Dave Stark, number 50, 6 feet 7 inches tall, only a junior, and Neil Bennett. He continues to get better every game, and certainly when you got that kind of size in a youngster, you got to feel good as a head coach.
Very much so, and you know he's coming, and he's coming along, and he's a legitimate 6'7". There's no fake tape measure on that deal at all. He's a legitimate ball player, and he looks like the kind of guy that can do a job for you at any level.
T.J. Sturba, the other member of what Ron Gerlach called the Twin Towers, 6'4" junior. As you get a look at him, he comes in here with averaging a little over 6 rebounds per game, and he can be a factor in here tonight, as height is going to be something that the Warriors of Wyoming area are going to have to overcome. They have an outstanding shooter in Mike Riddle, averaging 12 points a game, and when you have to step in and fill the shoes of one Tony Argo, I guess it makes a big difference when you got a kid that steps up and you're the new coach coming in, Neil.
Well, it certainly does. Riddle has done that. He's averaging 12 points a game. He's doing a good job on the floor, but it's just not the same thing as having a big man underneath. So they have to work for their points on the outside. With these two big guys for Hayfie, you're looking at 15 rebounds a game average, so that's something that you have to fight when you have the smaller club, and particularly when your biggest guy is a sophomore.
Neil, we found out during the Lackawanna League Championships on Friday night that size doesn't always do it for you, as we found out in the Valley View Honesdale game, and while Honesdale did come up on the short end of that one, that was really quite a basketball game, and a contrast, and it really proves that in high school basketball anything can happen.
Yes, and a bad break coming out of that, not out of that game, but Bill Selleck, the fine center for Valley View, his sister, who's 6'1" and the starting center for the girls team, broke her leg in an accident playing touch football Saturday in the snow, so she's out for the rest of the year. Tough break for her, and also for the Valley View Lady Cougars. loss to get over a 6'1" center.
One of the things that we found throughout the course of the region this year is that there is an abundance of really fine underclassmen talent, and I think, if anything, the region known as Northeastern PA will have an awful lot to look forward to in years to come.
That's the truth, and as long as they're coming up from below, you know they're going to get to the top one of these days.
Yes, indeed. That is exactly the case. We're just about set to go with the tip-off here of this one. Player introductions about to be given to the crowd here, and our national anthem coming, and we're going to be back with all of the action here in this one. It's the Warriors of Wyoming area hosting the Bishop Hayfie Vikings. We'll be right back.
At Cousin Joe's, good food and a relaxing atmosphere are the order of the day. Unwind in the bar after a long day. Enjoy a home-cooked meal in Cousin Joe's restaurant. The kitchen is open from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for lunch and from 5:30 to 10 for dinner. The weekend is special, too, with featured items at great prices. Kids of all ages will enjoy the game room at Cousin Joe's with video games, darts, pool, and more. Cousin Joe's, Main Street, Cunningham, a nice place to relax and enjoy dinner. Available for meetings and small parties.
Join me, Don Pachance, on the next Straight Talk when we find out what viewers can expect from PCTN in the near future. And naturally, it's only seen here on award-winning PCTN.
Oh, we're definitely helping to clean up the environment. I can't believe I get paid for this.
Well, here are the lineups that were introduced to this crowd here at Wyoming area for the visiting Bishop Hayfie Vikings. Myers, DeCosmo, Stark, Sturba, and Lloyd. Keep your eye on Lloyd. He's one of those shake and bake kids that really can be an exciting ball player to watch for Wyoming area. It's Riddle, Walb, and Cabbage. He's the 6'5" sophomore that Neil Bennett spoke of. Bruno and Braca. And that is the way these teams will take to the hardwoods here tonight at Wyoming area. Thanks for being part of this live telecast here on PCTN, and we are glad to be with you. You might want to make a program note while we have a quick minute here with you that on Thursday night, many of those of you who followed a youngster by the name of Joe Marshall through the ranks, now playing at Lafayette College, Neil will be on hand to see the Leopards and the Bison of Bucknell, and we'll have that for you on Thursday night. Right now, stay with us as Beth Skalonger sings our national anthem. Pretty outstanding job by Beth Skalonger. The officials tonight, Andy Husty, Jim Williams. You might have heard that name before. We've talked about him as the father of the fine young point guard over at Wilkes, Jay Williams.
Very true. And his wife, Maureen, one of the better women officials in the area. Andy Husty said to say hello to his kids tonight so they'll know he's here and at the game. I said to Jim, who do you want to say hello to? He said, well, just don't say anything bad about my wife, so we won't.
You got the money he gave us for that, right?
Oh, what money?
Right answer, right answer. Nah, that wasn't true at all. Sturba and the big guy, Vin Cabbage, got us underway. This is Wyoming area with the basketball. This is the kid that we had talked about, Mike Riddle. He goes to the hole off the glass and drops it in. Mike Riddle, just that quick. Shows you why he is the leading point scorer here on Wyoming area's team. This is Pat Lloyd. And a kick detected. Hafey still with the basketball.
Wyoming area working a 2-3 zone at the start.
Cosmo, number 35. A recent addition to the lineup. Lets that one go for 3. It doesn't go, and a foul. I believe called. No, they say it's just out of bounds, and Hafey with possession of the basketball will inbound it. This is Paul Myers to the big guy Stark, and we are tied up. Two. Hafey will look to do that all night long if they can. They want to take advantage of Stark's superior size. He has a year's worth of experience on big Kevin Vinkevich. And we are tied at 2.
Stark will have the weight advantage also, along with the experience. He's a little bit bulkier than Vinkevich.
This is Pat Lloyd. Picked off, and it's just Mike Riddle, and he has his pocket picked from behind. Look at the superb ball handling by Lloyd, but somehow or another in the midst of that, Stan Wall came up with a basketball for Wyoming area. Hafey going to pick people up man-to-man, battle underneath. Who's got it? To Cosmo.
Wyoming area wearing green and gold tonight. Hafey wearing white, which is usually the home team's uniforms, but they're on the road tonight wearing white.
I wonder if there's some superstition in there somewhere, Neil. I never can tell. For 3 is Paul Myers. It's long, and Stanley Wall climbs the wall, comes down with a rebound. Mike Riddle, 5'10" senior, goes to the hole, and it's going to go out of bounds. Some good quick hands on the part of the Viking defense.
Looked to me like Greg DeCosmo got his hands in there on that one. 35 coming across underneath. That was DeCosmo, 5'9" sophomore.
Both of these coaches had young teams. Looking forward to a good showing here in the second half of Wyoming Valley Conference play. Pat Lloyd steps up for 3, doesn't go. Loose basketball controlled by Riddle, who goes to the basket, off the board, doesn't go. Foul on Pat Lloyd.
One of the things when you're installing a new system, as CJ Buffalino is here at Wyoming area, is going to get a look at the last play. 32 is Riddle, the only senior on the team, going to the basket, getting fouled on the play. The thing is, number one, you have to teach the players the system, but before you do that, you have to teach them to believe in the same system you do. And when you have as many coaches as they have had here over the last few years, kids are coming up in a program where they're learning one thing one way, another, and you really have to sell them on your idea being an idea that will work. You just have to give it the time, and that's your first problem as a new coach. And if it's a baseball team or a football team, you have the same problem.
This is Myers, baseline drive, and reverses it in. 4-4. Glad to have you aboard Scholastic Sports Showcase, Bishop Hafey, Wyoming area. Tonight, a spinning one-hander by Bruno, no good. And the foul is going to be called out front as Lloyd on the front end of the break was fouled by Mike Riddle, picking up his first. Get another look at the play.
Only thing Riddle could do right there, he knows he's beat for the layup by Lloyd. Comes in with the grab on the arm, saves the basket. He's got to make the 2 by himself from the line.
Lloyd only 16 of 49. That's a little bit under 33% with that miss there from the free throw line. And Lloyd changes the scoreboard. 5-4. Hafey on top. Pressuring the ball, and now the shot put up, and Mike Riddle is off of the mark with that one, and coming up with it for Hafey, Paul Myers, the 5'11 sophomore. They give it back to him. He launches for three and nails it. 8-4, Hafey. Then Cabbage. You see the advantage that big Dave Stark has inside, although he had lots of company in there. He still managed to get enough of the ball, and it was tipped out by Wyoming area. Myers into Cosmo. Now Myers for three, a little bit hard, and TJ Sturba with a loose rebound. Here's Lloyd in the paint, running one-hander, and that's a typical Pat Lloyd shot. This is a kid that he plays like you play when you're on the playground. Timeout on the floor. 10-4 Hafey. We'll be back.
At Cousin Joe's, good food and a relaxing atmosphere are the order of the day. Unwind in the bar after a long day. Enjoy a home-cooked meal in Cousin Joe's restaurant. The kitchen is open from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for lunch and from 5:30 to 10 for dinner. The weekend is special, too, with featured items at great prices. Kids of all ages will enjoy the game room at Cousin Joe's with video games, darts, pool, and more. Cousin Joe's, Main Street, Cunningham, a nice place to relax and enjoy dinner. Available for meetings and small parties.
Join me, Don Pachance, on the next Straight Talk when we find out what viewers can expect from PCTN in the near future. And naturally, it's only seen here on award-winning PCTN.
Oh, we're definitely helping to clean up the environment. I can't believe I get paid for this.
Hafey's action with the basketball. Greg DeCosmo looking for Lloyd underneath. Lloyd drives the lane and hits two. Gives them a 10-4 lead.
That's live action, and that was Pat Lloyd at 5'9". They caught him on the break. Don't think he won't want this tape as part of his highlights of his career.
That was
That's
a
getting
shot.
up.
That's moving for a kid in high school ball playing that way. 5'9", a little spring in the feet.
He can get up, and his hands are quick.
And where have we seen the two guns before?
Dave Braca. Now Wall to the basket, tries to go up against the trees inside, and between Sturba and Stark, they blocked it, and now coming back, it's Stark with the rebound, and I believe Braca will pick up the personal foul. That's who it is.
42, Dave Braca gets his first of the game. Dave Stark goes to the line shooting 86% on the season as a free throw connoisseur. Look at that figure, 86%. You can win a lot of games doing that.
And score a lot of points, Neil.
Well, if Will Chamberlain had hit 86% from his free throws, he'd still be chasing his record.
Yeah, and how many front ends did he miss?
Oh.
He tried everything, Neil, including Bunny Levitt trying to teach him how to shoot underhand.
Hey, that worked for a lot of guys in the old days.
Yeah, it did. If you did that now, these kids would just look at you and say, what was that?
They could say what was that, but it'd still be a point on the board.
That's right, it would be. Stan Wall. The tip up. And now a foul is going to be called on Paul Myers. It's going to be a baseline out. Get another look.
Play coming up underneath. You'll see the positioning Get him in that time as you have the foul called over the back on number 3, Paul Myers.
Dave Braca with his first 2 points of the ball game. 14-6, Bishop Paisley. First quarter of action here tonight. Yes, we will keep you up to date on what's going on throughout the region here tonight. Canio Costanzo back in the studio, busy at work, putting things together for you to let you know what's going on, including some of the other big ones around the area. Cosmo skips it across. This is Doherty now into the ball game. Joe Doherty, a 6'1" senior. This is he. We'll take this opportunity to send along our best wishes to a good friend of PCTN who worked with us many times, recently retiring as the athletic director at Bishop Paisley. Phil Andrus taking a new position as an accounts manager for leader data processing. Phil, we wish you the very best. It's been our good pleasure to have you as a friend and work with us here during the course of the last several years, and we've appreciated you and sent along our best.
Traveling violation there on Joe Doherty for the Vikings, turns it over to Wyoming area at the minute mark of the first quarter.
Bruno. Foul is going to be called as Bruno headed to the paint.
One of the things Hafey is doing so far tonight, Dave Stark, number 50, and Sturba, number 51, are setting up defensively to keep the Warriors from getting their men much movement around the key, and that's forcing the game outside on the Wyoming area.
Here's Wall to the basket. He launches that one off the board, and it goes. It is 14-8.
And that's how you beat the jam in the paint. Start hitting them from the outside and make the defense come out.
Yep. Sturba gets the friendly roll. Sturba into the scoring column for the first time. Riddle doesn't go, and Dave Stark well up off his feet. Good vertical leap that time. Come down with the rebound. Doherty's going to take it baseline. He did so right at the buzzer. We're 1/4 of the way done. 16-8 here at Wyoming area. We'll be right back.
Overall, it's the most powerful line of trucks on the planet. A line of trucks built by people who look at things a little differently. From the company that puts an airbag in every single one. A line of trucks that from one end to the other simply refuses to follow the rules. At America's Truck Stop, the new Dodge.
Scholastic Sports Showcase tonight is being brought to you by Cousin Joe's. A nice place to relax and enjoy dinner, available for meetings and small parties. And by Angelo's Italian House, 10th and Alter Street, a classic Italian romance rich in tradition. And by Grand Central TV and Appliance. Those are the folks you need to say thank you to for making this one possible in your living room tonight. 16-8 at the end of 1/4.
And what you have in the first quarter is pretty much what we expected. The height of Bishop Hafey being put to good advantage, and they capture the rebound category. And there you see the big guy moving outside, Dave Stark.
And Stark shows you that he can shoot from outside if need be. Riddle inside the wall, blocked by Pat Lloyd. Lloyd just climbed the ladder. Keep in mind, at 5'9", he's the kid that stuck the ball in on a jam just a little while ago. There he goes to the basket. It doesn't go, but he follows it up. It's still no good. And here comes Mike Riddle on the run. Nice fish to Ben Kopka, but no finish on the play. Sturba had a hand in there. Watch this. Riddle tries to drop it off, and Sturba with the strip. Maybe
And
got
the
away
foul.
with one. Maybe got away with one.
That's his first foul. It'll be inbounds to Wyoming area.
I didn't see the call that, Neil. Thank you very
call
much.
on the outside, Jim Williams.
And a good call. Kopka. In the corner, putting the shot up was Dave Braca. Here's the pick by Kopka for three. It doesn't go. And finally, DeCosmo will pull that one down for Hafey. Here's Lloyd. Good look, but unable to handle the pass is Hafey, and here comes the Warriors.
Too hot hands that time, as Lloyd had to get rid of that one in a hurry going underneath.
Riddle steps up from behind. It's going to be Greg DeCosmo, who not only got ball, but got arm as well.
Roger, you mentioned about Phil Andrus retiring as the AD at Hafey. There's a gentleman here tonight. As we look at the last play, there's the foul on 35 DeCosmo as Riddle got the shot off. Joe DeLuca, whose son AJ is playing for Wyoming area. Joe has given up coaching at Wyoming area Catholic after 21 years as head coach of a 6th, 7th, and 8th grade program. Doesn't know what to do with himself after coaching 21 years, so he comes to a basketball game.
That's like, did you ever notice, if you happen to eat in a restaurant on a consistent basis and you notice the girls that wait on you, what do when they have a day off? They go back to the restaurant and sit at the counter.
Right.
Say, why is that?
I want to see if the service is as good when they're not working as when they are.
Make sure nobody cuts into their territory. Pretty good ball movement. It comes back to Stark, and Hafey that time really moved the ball well. Stark started it. He ended up with the ball back. They got the ball in a couple of players' hands. That worked pretty. The takeaway by Sturba. Mike Brugger into the lineup, number 22. Here is Lloyd. Drops it. Sturba has it rejected. Pretty good work on defense. I believe it was Vinkevich. And Vinkevich doing a nice job on the boards up high to clear it. Riddle, we'll see if he can run the floor. The scoop doesn't go, but the whistle blows. We'll have a foul.
Looking at Dave Stark, 6'7", center forward for the Vikings.
That's Stark's first personal. And on the line, Mike Riddle.
This is a very similar game to the game Wyoming area played against Westside Tech on Saturday night. They got behind early, brought the game close in the third quarter, and then finally won it by 10, but they did it in the last 2 minutes and 45 seconds.
Mike Riddle has 6 points for his efforts in the game, and this pass a little bit too long for the speedy Mike Brugger, who couldn't catch up. We talked about some good ball movement on the part of Hafey. Here you go.
There you see that. You have 1, 2, 3 passes, and the final shot by number 50, Stark. 3 passes, and you've got a good play working in high school basketball. Unselfish action as well.
That's a key, Neil. And how nice it looks and works when you play that kind of basketball. Off the glass, what a shot by Ben Kopka. Averages 5 points per ball game, the 5'8" sophomore. A nice piece of work driving the lane that time. It is 20-12, and the walking call here against Brugger, and DeCosmo will replace him in the lineup.
Key to that was Wyoming area all of a sudden threw a full court press at the Vikings, caught them a little bit off guard as they're bringing the ball up. And here you see that last play coming up on the shot, going underneath. Number 5, Ben Kopka. And then the Warriors threw the quick full court press at the Vikings.
Here's the follow-up live action as Kevin Vinkevich now has his name in the scoring column. His first 2 points. It is 20-14 in Wyoming area. has closed the gap here to 6, but Sturba changes the scoreboard again, and it is now 8. Sturba with 8 points in the ball game. Excuse me, 4 points in the ball game.
Sturba and Stark, a definite good combination. You see the improvement in the month since we had them at the Round Ball Classic, the way they're working together.
Pretty nice alley-oop, but then Cabbage found the rim unfriendly. There's Myers. Drives the lane, and Bob Kalpin now into the lineup for Wyoming area will draw the foul. Myers on the free throw line.
And Kalpin, one of 5 sophomores, seen a lot of action here. Wyoming area has 7 juniors, 5 sophomores, and only 1 senior there with the glasses. C.J. Buffalino, the head coach. And what does a coach do for a full-time job if he's not a teacher? C.J. Buffalino says, I'm a lawyer. And they're getting a lot of TV time these days.
You got that right.
Myers at 73%. Now you look at the head coach, Ron Gerlach, for the Vikings.
Up high to pull that one down, Pat Lloyd. And Lloyd will run through the lane, put the shot up, doesn't go Stark, the follow-up. Stark now with 10 of Hafey's 24 points. Riddle can't get that one to drop, and Lloyd is going to run the floor again. And from behind, the foul will be called on Stanley Wall.
Lloyd is playing a lot higher than 5'9". He averages 11 points a game. Looks like the type of player who can take charge of the situation out there. Does a nice job offensively.
His twin brothers with an outstanding career at what used to be Freeland High School. Multi-sport athletes, football, basketball, baseball. Here's Stark.
Excellent move there as you saw him switch to his left and a smile on his face. It's almost like a move he was practicing. And hey, guys, it worked.
Left-handed shot put up again by Cocktail. No good, and foul called underneath.
Warriors had cut the lead down to 6, but just as quickly as they did that, the Vikings replied and upped it to 12 again.
The foul on Stanley Wall, his second.
Riddle back in now for Wyoming area.
A reminder to you, stay tuned during the half. We'll bring you up on what's going on throughout the region. Canio Costanzo at the first scorer's desk. Here's Joe Doherty. A little too tall for big Dave Stark. It's going to go out of bounds.
Doherty was breaking that press, but he knows he got that pass a little too high for the big guy coming down the middle. Idea was perfect.
Riddle took a look at the basket. Nothing there. This is A.J. DeLuca, number 3, into the lineup.
DeLuca is an outstanding track team participant for Wyoming area. I believe he set a couple of records last year as 51 back in his T.J. Serba for Hafey. So DeLuca likes his basketball and he loves to run track.
Sean Kostick into the Hafey lineup. The fadeaway. In, out, no good. As Dave Bracco unable to do it on the other end of the floor. It doesn't go for Lloyd. And the Warriors in the quick-paced game. Here's Riddle. Doesn't have it. To the basket and off the board. Pretty play. Stan Wall, 4 points in the ball game for him. And a 10-point lead for the Vikings of Bishop Hafey. Sturba on the floor, and now the follow-up is good by Paul Myers, who really stayed with that one. His first 2 points of the second period as we're under 2 minutes to play.
Wyoming area's last points came at the 4:27 mark.
And they've been cold even here. Sturba with a good effort. And the rebound. DeCosmo to the hole. Doesn't go. Foul is going to be called, and Dave Braca will pick up his second personal foul.
Like the way the Vikings are reading the plays. They're seeing the shot and they're going to the basket. They're not showing hesitancy, waiting for somebody else to do it. If they've got the ball and the shot is there, they're going to the basket. Greg DeCosmo will be on the line. He's a 70% free throw shooter, averaging 3 points a game. 52 with Kevin Lewis checking in for the Warriors.
Get another look here at the nice job Stan Wall does going to the basket.
Wall on the outside, driving left, covered up, but gets the shot off the glass for 2. Not fancy, not showboat, but a good 2-pointer.
And DeCosmo gets 1 of 2.
Ryan Rendick, 43, is checked in. He's just back from a broken leg for the Vikings. Showed me the scars from the wound before the game. That's Ryan, seeing his first action. Injured in a football game.
And looks to be pretty much recovered. This is Rendick with the basketball. Some of our own staff here knows what it's like to have a cast come off and regain the use of the limb. And that's just a little bit of inside. Rendick here will go to the line.
Gets a chance to get in the scoring totals. Steve Godry, number 12 for Wyoming area, and 53 for Hafey comes in, and see if I got a 53 anyplace here.
Meanwhile, Rendick on the line.
53,
does not go.
Excuse me, Roger. 53 is Jay DeFalco, sophomore guard for the Vikings. .105 to go in the half, and TJ Sturba will be on the line.
While we were updating our score sheets with Jay DeFalco, that was Stanley Wall picking up his 3rd personal foul, and Sturba was the man fouled. He's on the line here. First trip to the free throw stripe for TJ Sturba. And he will have a second. It was a 2-shot foul committed. 1:05 remaining here in the first half of action. A reminder to you to stay tuned as we'll take you during the half to the first scorer's desk. And I know there's a lot of hot action throughout the area that you'll want to catch up on. Riddle spins in the paint. It's in and out. Doesn't go. And DeFalco with a nice steal. Ryan Rendick there to help out. Kostick with the walk. Over here. 43 seconds remain. First half. Live high school basketball action coming your way tonight on PCTN. And we're glad to have you be part of our audience. Stephen Godry now into the Wyoming area lineup, and he lost the ball out of bounds. And the last minute or so here, Neil, nobody's wanted it.
That's the way it is right now. TJ Sturba, 51 for Hafey. We just noticed he has his little finger and his ring finger, his left hand bandaged together. Whether that's a protective taping or he has an injury, I don't know, but we just noticed the bandage there.
DeFalco. This is DeCosmo. And DeCosmo, with his first field goal of the night, has 3 points here in the first half, and that is going to do it. That one will not count if it goes. We are a half done. 32-16. It is Hafey by 2 times. That is. We'll be back.
Kids have a very special relationship with Dodge Caravan. You see, they are the #1 passengers in America's #1 selling minivan, which is why Caravan has always pioneered the kind of features that help ensure that every child gets from here to there as safely as possible. And now with $500 cash back on select Caravans, we're going to make Dodge Caravan America's #1 kids ride at your house.
At Cousin Joe's, good food and a relaxing atmosphere are the order of the day. Unwind in the bar after a long day. Enjoy a home-cooked meal in Cousin Joe's restaurant. The kitchen is open from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. for lunch and from 5:30 to 10 for dinner. The weekend is special, too, with featured items at great prices. Kids of all ages will enjoy the game room at Cousin Joe's with video games, darts, pool, and more. Cousin Joe's, Main Street, Cunningham, a nice place to relax and enjoy dinner. Available for meetings and small parties.
This savory story begins in Salerno, Italy, where Angelo and Anna met and brought their dreams and classic Italian food to Angelo's Italian house in Hazleton. Escape to the taste of Italy with homemade ravioli, veal steaks, chicken marsala, and mushroom and wine sauce. Always fresh and made to order. Taste the sultry desserts, cappuccino or espresso, imported fine wines and beers. And for lunch, the delicious homemade soups, pastas, and great sandwiches, only $3.95. Angelo's Italian house at 10th and Alta Streets in Hazleton, a classic Italian restaurant rich in tradition.
Pros wear Russell Athletic because it's made tough. It has to be.
Hey, kid! Hey, you got my lucky jersey.
Yeah?
Can I have it back?
You gotta be kidding.
You little pipsqueak.
No!
You want athletic wear that can survive anything? Get Russell Athletic. Get tough.
Battaglia Sporting Goods, headquarters for NFL clothing by Russell Apex and Starter.
For expert equipment, one name says it. Valley Rental. From the best in aerial platforms in all shapes and sizes to aerators and augers for the yard. And a complete line of contractors' equipment. Check us out. Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5. Saturday, 7:30 to 4. Valley Rental at the corner of Hazel Street and Wilkes-Barre Boulevard, Wilkes-Barre.
Up.
12 men, one mission, no choice. A no-nonsense major and his misfit military group in a desperate battle for their lives behind enemy lines. Lee Marvin, Charles Bronson, Telly Savalas, and Donald Sutherland in an explosive film with an all-star cast, The Dirty Dozen.
Tonight's Scholastic Sports Showcase is being brought to you by Cousin Joe's, a nice place to relax and enjoy dinner. Available for meetings and small parties. Cousin Joe's, Cunningham. Angelo's Italian House, 10th and Alter Street in Hazleton, a classic Italian romance rich in tradition. Angelo's Italian House. And by Grand Central TV and Appliance, Vine Street in Hazleton. Those people pleased to make this one possible to you tonight in the comfort of your living room. 32-16. It is Hafey at the halftime as the team's headed into the locker rooms. And as we sit here during the half, Neil Bennett, we have to be reminded that we said that it could come down to the height of Bishop Hafey inside, and indeed that is what made a substantial difference.
Very true, Roger. We have a doubling of the score, 32-16, and we have a doubling of rebounds, 18-9 in favor of Hafey. They're doing it all just as they talked about before the game. What they wanted to do was to put their coach's game plan in effect, run, rebound, get the extra shot, and go back with it. The big guys are getting the ball from the little guys, and they're going in the net, and that makes it a very simple game of basketball. For Wyoming area, they're just not able to take advantage of their height. They're not able to get the ball inside. A lot of that you have to attribute to Bishop Hafey. It's not that Wyoming area can't do it. It's Hafey's not letting them do it.
One of the things we had talked with C.J. Buffalino prior to the game, and he had mentioned to us, and you heard during the interview, that he is in the process of installing a new system here at Wyoming area. And sometimes when you do that, the temptation when you're down 32-16, Neil, is to go away from that. But I think here it's important that they continue to work their plan.
They have to stay with the plan that's going to take them. It may not have brought them here, but it's going to take them. And that's what they've got to do. There's no 16-point shots. You've got to do it 1, 2, 3 at a time, play hard defense, and get back in the game a little bit at a time. That's what Hafey will be trying to keep them from doing here tonight.
Listen, on a program note, we want to remind you that coming up here on PCTN on Thursday night, you'll see West Hazelton native Joe Marshall and the Leopards of Lafayette College matching up against Big Dave Steigerwalt, who is playing his college basketball over at Bucknell University. And you'll see that here on PCTN, 8 o'clock Thursday night. Right now, let's take you back to the studio for these halftime reports. Here's Canio Costanzo. Canio?
Okay, Roger, thank you very much. 32-16, Hafey with the lead over Wyoming area. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Studio 4. I'm Canio Costanzo. A lot of basketball games going on tonight, so let's run down some of the ball games of scores that we have from the area. We start off in the Northern Division of the Lackawanna League, where Valley View struggling against Old Forge. Blue Devils got a good squad. Jay Hawanich calling in this score. It's a 2-point lead for the Cougars, 22-20. Also going on tonight, Honesdale up by 15 at the break of that ball game, 30-15. Carbondale having a tough time with Lakeland. Chiefs also have a very fine squad, and there you see the score, 20-15. In the game you are watching right here on PCTN, it's Bishop Hafey over Wyoming area, 32-16. Let's go to some of the highlights in this ball game that we have. Here's Stanley Wall inside the lane. Nice move. I didn't hear him call bank. They counted the points anyway. In the second stanza, Dave Stark, wide open, bang. And then later, watch this passing by Hafey. Some tremendous passing. And eventually, it's going to be Stark who hits the open bunny. And that's one reason why they are up in this ball game, 32-16 at the half. Let's go through some other scores going on tonight. Third quarter score, tight ball game here. Been back and forth, low scoring affair as well. The Crusaders have a 1-point lead against Hazelton, 28-27. Nanticoke on the road. Tough time for them so far tonight. Good matchup here as the Bulldogs playing some tough basketball. They're up by 1 is Nanticoke, 34-33. Pittston with a lead against Crestwood, 26-20. We thank Chris Zako for that score. And also at the half, Myers with a big lead at Seminary. And the score there right now, 35-20. We do want to tell you a couple more scores right now. NBA scores quickly. Second quarter, Portland 37-34 over New York. It's Indiana and Miami tied at 37. Philadelphia's got a 5-point lead, down by 5 to Detroit, 30-25. San Antonio up 9-5 early in the first quarter of play. And that Coughlin-Hazelton game has now gone into the fourth quarter. 28-27 will bring us scores of that game and much more. But the second half of the Hafey-Wyoming area game is coming up. We'll take a break and send it back to Wyoming Area High School. Roger Snyder and Neil Bennett will have the second half call of the ball game, and we will see you for first scores.
No other vehicle can, to strange worlds and even stranger life forms, to the silicon landscapes of tomorrow's supercomputers. This incredible vehicle can take you as far as your ability and imagination will allow.
if you don't bail out. So stay in school. This message was brought to you by the United States Air Force.
For expert equipment, one name says it. Valley Rental. From the best in aerial platforms in all shapes and sizes to aerators and augers for the yard. And a complete line of contractors' equipment. Check us out. Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 5. Saturday, 7:30 to 4. Valley Rental at the corner of Hazel Street and Wilkes-Barre Boulevard, Wilkes-Barre.
Welcome back. We're at the half. It is 32-16. Here's Neil Bennett with a look at first half stats.
Percentages, 60% on field goals for Bishop Hayfie on 12 for 20. 6 for 22 for Wyoming area is 27%. That will not cut it here tonight. You see the doubling in the rebounds. Free throws, 5 for 11 for Hayfie, 4 for 6 for Wyoming, but they don't have enough to keep it in the ball game, just shooting 4 of 6.
Lots of time left to go. One half of play remains here. And Wyoming area, if they can manage to get it back a little at a time, can work their way back in here. And sometimes you need a break like that one where Mike Riddle drives the baseline, takes the shot, doesn't go, and Hayfie comes down with the ball but out of bounds. Look at Pat Lloyd and big Dave Stark up there.
Stark's blocked. Lloyd took it, but he was out of bounds when he got the ball.
I'll give you the first half scoring on an individual basis here in just a moment, but right now it is Hayfie with an opportunity to put up some more points very quickly. This is what it looked like for Wyoming area. It was Vinkavage with 2, Braca had 2, so did Kopka. Stan Wall had 4, and high man Mike Riddle for Wyoming area. Very quickly for Bishop Hayfie. 3 points for Greg DeCosmo. Pretty nice work that time. Taking it to the hole was Riddle. Balance of the individual scoring in the first half. TJ Sturba had 5, Paul Myers had 7, Pat Lloyd had 6, and the big guy Dave Stark had 12. You got to look at him there. Camera angle looking up. How else do you look at him?
You look up from a long way. Warriors switched to a 1-2-2 zone and then try to double the ball. And so far, they've been able to upset the offense.
There's Riddle. Tries to go around Lloyd. And manages to come out of there with it. 4-3, Stan Wall does not go, and Riddle with some good hustle but unable to come down with the basketball. Into the lineup, Ben Kopka will give Stan Wall the breather. Kopka a sophomore, Wall a junior.
Commented on Riddle's hustle as the lone senior on the team. He's got to show the hustle, he's got to show the leadership, and he's definitely doing that. It's not just with the scoring, but there's so many other things that you have to look for leadership, and he's delivering. Plays a tough defense, showing the younger guys how to do it.
Thanks for joining us here on Scholastic Sports Showcase, another live telecast coming into your living room. Wyoming area, Bishop Hayfie. Kopka still has it, still fighting, and finally the foul is going to be called, and I believe it's Sturba who's going to pick up the personal. It is. That is his second personal, the 6'4" junior. Now has 2 to the line. Will go Ben Kopka.
His game averages his number, 5 points a game. Another one of the hustling guards for C.J. Buffalino, the head coach there.
And I think what has happened here, I believe, and I'm not sure from where it came, but I believe Big Dave Stark has some blood on his uniform over there, and I think they may have to deal with that issue prior to resuming play here. And that's what they're going to do. Sturba says what? Who, me? Is that what it was?
What it might be. They're pointing to the side of his uniform.
At any rate, Joe Doherty will check into the lineup while they take care of the problem with Dave Stark.
This is Stark checking out the left hip area. We'll keep an eye on him on the end of the bench to see what is going on as the game continues.
At any rate, Ben Kopka now is 1 point shy of his 5-point per game average. He nails down a couple of free throws. Here's Lloyd. Watch him go. Doherty. Good head and shoulders fake, but the ball doesn't go in, but Hafey retains possession.
Warriors have not allowed the Vikings to score here in the second half.
And we are at the 5-minute, 22-second mark.
Took care of that, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Paul Myers now has 10 points in the ball game as he rifles that one home from 3-point range. That's a good look at Myers from a different perspective. That's known as the other point of view.
Sidearm pass by Riddle underneath to Kopka.
Wyoming area getting a couple of shots at the basket, and this is a relatively big play because TJ Sturba has picked up yet another personal foul. Unofficially, I show him with 3, and that is now confirmed.
Well, with Sturba with 3 personals, Stark is still on the bench with whatever mystery problem he had with his uniform, or there was blood on the side of his uniform. The assistant coach and one of the trainers looking at him now.
Underneath, good follow-up as Kevin Vinkevich took advantage of his size inside and banged that one home. Here's Lloyd. Sturba with the follow-up. 7 points in the ball game for Chris Sturba. Riddle drops it out. Kopka blocked by Lloyd. Lloyd with quick hands and very quick feet. Watch this. Look how high he is. Boom, right on the ball.
Stark is up and off the bench, kneeling at the scorer's table. He and Kostick will be coming back in.
For 3 is Paul Myers. And Myers now with 13 points in the ball game. A timeout called by Wyoming area. We'll be right back.
Are you still watching the big games on a puny little 27-inch? Get yourself a big screen from the Big Screen Store, Grand Central in Hazleton. Grand Central has all the big screen names like Sony, Magnavox, Zenith, Hitachi, Quasar, and Mitsubishi, all found in Grand Central's Big Screen Alley. And affordable? How about 1 year same as cash on any big screen TV with screens from 31 to 120 inches. Get 12 months interest free on any big screen at Grand Central in Hazleton.
Paul Myers is just a sophomore. He's 5'11", and he just nailed this one for 3 and says, yeah.
Hitting 60% from the 3-point line tonight, 3 for 5.
3-point shot put up there by Dave Braca. Just a little bit hard, and Greg DeCosmo with the rebound. Costa to Stark back in the game. Stark to turn around, got it. Didn't lose a beat. We're still not sure the reason for his being taken out. The turnaround shot, no good. Vinkavage, the turnaround jump hook. Pretty play. Vinkavage with 4 points in this period, 6 in the ball game.
That's what the sophomore's got to do a lot of for the Warriors as he develops in the system, and he had a nice shot that time. And he went over a big guy at Stark, 6'7".
Vinkavage, one of the kids we had mentioned about some good young talent being around the region. This time it's Kopka, and they're just not falling. Meanwhile, Lloyd has it stripped. Wyoming area has it back. Who's going to get it? Patient. Take this opportunity to say thanks to Tom Vaxmonsky for the invitation to come in and do tonight's ball game. Always our pleasure to come into Wyoming area. Glad that we had an opportunity to make one up here tonight, because this year, in contrast to last year in this month of January, Neil, we didn't work last January. You remember all the snow, and this time we only have lost one game so far, and that was up here, and that was pretty good by our measurement of things.
Well, let's not tempt the snow gods.
It's not snowing out there now, is it?
It was the last time we looked.
We don't want that.
Hey, you got the trip tonight. I can walk home from here.
Stark fouled by Vinkavage. Yeah, a lot of times. That's one of the things no one ever thinks of, is that when we get done here, it's a matter of having the crew go back and unload everything back in Hazleton at our studios, and then they go home.
Well, they've got a longer night than we do, and you just saw a battle of 50-50 right there. Stark in white for the Haiti Vikings at the line. He was fouled by Kevin Vinkavage, his first, number 50 for the Warriors.
Mike Brugger, 5'8" senior, into the Haiti lineup. Vinkavage with the rebound. That's the story so far. And it's going to remain Wyoming area basketball. Pretty good hustle on the part of Sean Kostick.
Went after that one like a lineman on a loose fumble.
He remembers those days. Mike Riddle. Clock under 2 minutes. Here's Riddle's pull-up jumper. Doesn't go. And it will stay on the Wyoming area Warrior end of things.
Vikings defense giving Riddle a hard time tonight, but what he's doing is he's pushing the ball off. He knows he's being guarded tightly. He's the top offensive threat.
Myers dropped off nicely, intercepted. Lloyd tried to give it back to him and couldn't. Here comes Stan Wall to the hole. I believe it's Dave Stark who's going to pick up the personal foul. It is. It's Stark's second.
Kostick, 52, tries to help out here. Look at that double wall you got to go through, man. You got to think twice about that.
Kostick with good position that time. Had Stark not gotten him first, that probably would have gone as a player control foul.
Kostick was all set to take the charge, and he has the physique that he could take a few of them.
Yeah, he'd probably just hit and drop. And we're not talking about Kostick.
That's not a knock on the guy. It's simply the fact that he's got the build that
Yes,
he can
he
take
is.
those charges, where you see some guys, you know, 106 pounds soaking wet standing out there, and here's a 6'3" guy running into him. But Kostick can definitely do it, and he was lined up for the situation.
Wyoming area is cold.
Well, you're going to have this when you have a young ball club without a lot of senior experienced players out there. You're going to have those kind of nights, and there's no way to get experience except to play. Bob turnover.
Calvin, just another one of the sophomores that C.J. Buffalino has into the lineup. Lloyd doesn't go. Tip up was no good by Myers. And this is Riddle. To say that Lloyd was all over him would be an understatement. Then Cabbage, boy, if that would have gone, that would have been pretty. But the follow-up and hanging in there is Bob Calvin, the 5'11 sophomore.
Ben Cabbage with a finger roll that time on that shot, trying to get it in. A reverse finger roll and tried to get it to dip in. Nice move.
Your start. Kevin Lewis, 6-foot junior, into the lineup. Tied up, jump ball. Hafey with the basketball. Stark. And up high, big Kevin Cabbage. Foul committed out front by Mike Brugger.
Not a foul as a coach you would particularly like with 7 seconds to go in the quarter. Foul that far from the basket, let them work it in. Brugger's idea was probably to get that ball and get down there for the layup at the buzzer.
These two teams coming in seemingly pretty evenly matched up, but so far it's been all Hafey. 42-26. Back right after this with the final quarter.
It had to be you.
Maybe it's the way it drives like a car, or that it exceeds 1998 car safety standards, or the fact that it gives you more choices than any other minivan. Dodge Caravan, the best-selling minivan of all time. No wonder so many people buy it, and so many companies try to copy it.
It had to be you, a wonderful you. It had to be you.
Tonight's game being brought to you by Cousin Joe's, a nice place to relax and enjoy dinner, available for meetings and small parties. Cousin Joe's, Cunningham, and by Angelo's Italian House, 10th and Alter Street in Hazleton, a classic Italian romance rich in tradition. Angelo's Italian House, and by Grand Central TV and Appliance. Those are the people that deserve your thanks and your business, because they make this one possible.
Could be a doubleheader win here for the Vikings tonight. They captured the JV game 61-47. Trying to work on the varsity game 42-26 with 8 minutes to go.
Stay tuned. Immediately following tonight's game, we'll update you from the sports desk. Canio Costanzo working on updating the scores. And here's a look at the scoring by quarters.
Well, Wyoming area managed to hold Hafey from not lengthening the lead, but you see that double up in the first and the second quarter, giving them a substantial lead here of 42-26 as we go into the final 8 minutes.
Riddle will go to the basket and pick up the foul. Greg DeCosmo draws number 2. DeCosmo, a 5'9" sophomore, one of the youngsters on the Hafey team, as you get a look at the Wyoming area senior, the only one.
Good ball player is Riddle. Sometimes when you have a senior in a situation like this, it can be a tough one on him, but he seems to be coming right to the top. They say the cream comes to the top, and Riddle's definitely doing that, playing all out, all the way.
Riddle got them both. Hazleton area, a winner tonight over Coughlin, 44-36. The final, Dave Stark now has 16 in the ball game. 44-28. Another big ball game going on tonight, Neil. Hanover
and O'Reilly, a big game for Hanover. They lost to Seton Catholic in a stunner after playing for the first half divisional tie with Myers and GAR.
That's Lloyd's first points since the opening quarter, but he's supplied some spectacular plays. is going to be called. They look to go to Dave Braca, the 6'1 junior, and foul here is going to be called on T.J. Sturba, his 4th.
That might be his 5th foul. We've got 4 on the board.
Has 4. I have 4 in my notes.
Well, they just took him out of the ball game with the 5th.
I guess the board is right.
Well, I think what you had a situation there where the board wasn't too quick changing. And that'll do it for T.J. Sturba for the night.
Played a good game on the boards. Had 7 points on the evening.
He and Stark complemented each other very well tonight with the rebounding. We said they had almost a 15 per game average between the two of them, and there's a timeout for Wyoming area, their 3rd of the game.
6:48 remains here from Wyoming area. 46-28. It is the Vikings on top. While we have timeout on the floor, enjoy the Wyoming area cheerleaders. Coming up next Tuesday, the Vikings back on PCTN against the Rangers of Northwest as Irv Post brings his team into Bishop Hayfie High School. The sports team will be there. Live basketball action. We'll have the first scorers and first look. Crew meal supplied by Petruzzi's Pizza, 34 West 9th Street in Hazleton tonight, and that is always much appreciated. Here is Lloyd to the basket. Lloyd with a running one-hander now has 10 points. In the night, he too in double figures. Myers is in doubles with 13 for the Vikings. Stark with 16. Mike Riddle, the only man in double figures for Wyoming area with 10. Good, quick hands by Doherty. Here's Lloyd. Doesn't go. Look at Myers, the sophomore, is up there. It doesn't go, and good hustle by Stan Wall, the junior. And Wyoming area, because of his efforts, has the basketball. Here is Riddle. Doesn't go. Follow-up put up. Doesn't go. That was Vinkevich with the follow. And finally, it's Stark. Here's Lloyd. Lots of times up and down the floor right here with nobody putting the ball in the hole until now. That is when Stan Wall cans the 3. 7 points in the ball game for Stan Wall. Here's Myers. Myers is fouled. Score the basket. He now has 15 points in the ball game.
And it's going to be one more to come as you see the contact there on Myers by number 42, Dave Braca.
And a timeout is taken. C.J. Buffalino knows that he has had his work cut out here, and we want you to enjoy the Bishop Hayfie cheerleaders. University of Scranton at Wilkes, February 13th. Our reminder to you that the 14th is Valentine's Day. Better take care of your sweetheart. Get her a box of candy, take her somewhere for a pizza, bring her out to the ball game, and then treat her right on Valentine's Day. Neil, the University of Scranton against Wilkes, and that action live here on PCTN.
A very, very big game that one will be for both schools. Scranton now behind Kings in the league standings as Kings won up at Scranton on Saturday in a tough ball game.
Some good basketball being played right here in our own backyard.
What do you want?
Tony Kiddish on your left, the assistant coach, Ron Gerlach, the head coach of the Vikings. And right now, they got to be feeling pretty good as their team is in control here, 50-30.
Set up two and run it through. Run it all the way through.
Third team foul against Wyoming area in the half. AP will still be inbounding the ball. It'll be a while before they get to the shooting violations. They have to hit the 7 mark for that.
This is Lloyd. Glides into the paint and nails the running one-hander. That's not an easy shot to make because your momentum is carrying you away from the basket. Big Kevin Vinkevich with 6 points in the quarter, 8 points in the game. Looking pretty good down the stretch here for Wyoming area. Foul is detected against Hayfie.
Be a 1-on-1 situation for the Warriors.
Foul is going to be on Lloyd.
Hayfie's going to take a timeout at this point with 4:44 to go.
We'll be back.
This savory story begins in Salerno, Italy, where Angelo and Anna met and brought their dreams and classic Italian food to Angelo's Italian House in Hazleton. Escape to the taste of Italy with homemade ravioli, veal steaks, chicken marsala, and mushroom and wine sauce. Always fresh and made to order. Taste the sultry desserts, cappuccino or espresso, imported fine wines and beers. And for lunch, the delicious homemade soups, pastas, and great sandwiches, only $3.95. Angelo's Italian House at 10th and Alta Streets in Hazleton, a classic Italian restaurant rich in tradition.
Ride the wave with two surfers turned private eyes as they span the globe for an ex-CIA agent on a mission. Rick Springfield, Yannick Missat, and George Siegel. Together, they're reaching new heights, letting nothing stand in their way. It's a whole new wave of adventure. High Tide.
On the line, Bob Calpin picking up his 3rd point of the game. Just a sophomore, 5 feet, 11 inches tall. Lots of opportunity to grow yet as you get a look at some of the original starters in this one having an opportunity to get a little bit of a breather as C.J. Buffalino wants to get some of his younger guys some playing experience. That can be said of Ron Gerlach as well, who has a couple of substitutes about to enter the game. This is Doherty. Doherty, a good athlete. He is fouled here. Dave Braca, I believe, picks up the personal foul. A reminder to you that coming up immediately following tonight's game, First Scores, Canio Costanzo at the scores desk will bring you up to date on what happened throughout the region in basketball tonight. You won't have to wait for the news. We'll give it to you immediately following tonight's game.
Hayfie taking some air out of the ball right now, slowing the game down using the clock.
Took the words out of my mouth, Neil. Absolutely right. And why not? When you're on top 52-34, you got an 18-point advantage. Your adversary becomes the clock.
Well, Doherty 2 times in a row up court had the path for the layup, but he fed off the Kostick down low on the baseline. And Kostick whipped it back outside to take some time off. They barely have the points.
You saw the work of Pat Lloyd.
Looked like he was trying to slam another one there. 5'9", slammed one.
I'm sure the thought crossed his mind. From the Mike Riddle. Joe Doherty in the corner. Ball put on the carpet and jump ball, and Hafey will have it back. We talked about this kid, Lloyd. Watch this. Off the inbound play, go to the basket. Watch him get up.
Almost. Just not quite enough height to get it in there, but he's only 5'9", folks. That basket's 10 foot up there.
What do you expect for 5'9"? Yep. Andy Husty alertly spots the backcourt.
Talking about the game next Tuesday night with Northwest at Hafey. The first time they met, it was a 5-point win for the Northwest Rangers. So if the home court is worth 5 points, that's an even ball game.
Not easy to go up and win at the Eddie Gajewski Memorial Gymnasium.
I don't think Dr. Naismith with his original team couldn't win in Northwest.
I think you're probably right. Next Tuesday, we told you, Northwest at Hafey, live 7:30. Watch all the action right here on Scholastic Sports Showcase on the Pioneer Community Television Network. Joe Doherty, senior, seeing his athletic career begin to wind down on the high school level. He's been a tough kid, good athlete in a number of different sports. And Neil and I both take a look at 00 coming in and saying he's not on our list. Sick him, Neil. We'll find out.
Hey, how about Heath Casalde, sophomore, 5'10".
Heath Casalde. I'll take your word for it, Neil.
Casalde with 6 points total on the season to get instant action.
It's one of the facts of life of doing high school sports. You don't always get numbers and rosters and know who's who, because changes are made many times on a daily basis. We were talking with Tom Vaxmonsky prior to the start of the game, and he was saying about how during the course of taking 2 personal days off to go hunting, his principal had to fill in for him and said they had to change the game, by the way, because of weather. And he's 18 phone calls for a game. And Tom said, welcome to the business. And that's exactly what it is. And I guess I said all that to say that there is no such thing as a sports information director, which we normally get to work with during our college gigs. And you get guys like Bob Zadie over at Kings and Tom McGuire down at Wilkes. And I mean, they're just a joy to work with, because when you walk in, everything is there for you. You got stats on everybody, and you normally even get them early. For 3, Riddle. Riddle's the basket. For 3, has 13 in the ball game. Bob Kalpin. Neil, maybe what we need to do is we need to start some kind of a course that could be passed along in the high school that would get students to do a lot of that work, so when we came in here, we would have it. Do you think it would work, and we give credit for it?
Hey, that's not a bad idea. You know, there's a lot of places where they do that with kids that are interested in the sports end of a life career.
I know our friend Jimmy Doyle has a sportscasters club down at Southern Columbia High School. Southern Columbia having a great year this year. And Jimmy does that. He works with the kids all year long, but he has the built-in advantage that he is a teacher in the school, and that makes a substantial difference.
We've got another one of those numbers just came in. Jay DeFalco, 53.
And this kid, Bob Kalpin, comes in off of the bench. He has 7 fourth-quarter points. He's going to go to the line here. He's going to have another.
Talk about numbers. I remember doing a football game a long, long time ago at Myers. I forget who they were playing, but it was a rainy Saturday night. And at halftime, Myers went in and changed their uniforms to get dry for the second half, and not a number match.
Yes. Isn't that fun?
Oh.
We won't mention the game, but we had a little experience with that early on in the season here as we got into the fall sports. Shot put up by Ryan Rendick. And poor Glenn O'Donnell underneath there. That's Glenn. Glenn has taken a beating this year. I guess we haven't had to give him a Purple Heart yet, but I got to tell you, he has been in the action. Watch this one now. Where's Glenn? Hello, Glenn. Ah.
Right on top. Looks
And
like
never flinches. Remember in the Scranton Prep game, shot put in, by the way, by Hafey's number 24, another player for whom we have no number. But the Dunmore Scranton Prep game, Glenn O'Donnell got toppled along the sideline. He was very upset immediately following. He said it was the first time that the camera ever left his shoulder, and he's taken some hits underneath. Yeah, that our truck reminds me that it was just brief because they had an opportunity to see that firsthand from their point of view with multi-camera looks in the truck.
We should start a pool in these games. When's I going to get it?
He says, as long as I get the shot, it's the most important thing.
24 for Hafey on the floor is Mark Opener, who got the last basket.
Okay,
Who needs SIDs? We got Jimmy Shepard in the truck working hand in glove here.
You got it.
They can handle it. No problem.
That was not Neil and I, by the way. Those guys are a lot better looking. That's our man, Jim Shepard, our statistician.
Where do you see the request for tapes for this game go way up?
I'll bet. Shot put up by Kopka is off the mark, and Jim Williams spots a foul. Kopka is going to be the culprit on this one.
Ryan Rendick just off the DL, if you will, the injured reserve with a broken left leg. And he was in the contact there in the center of the floor, and he's going to go to the line on the foul. Charge to Ben Kopka.
Thank you. Ryan Pinkowski, a 6'2 sophomore, into the Hafey lineup. Kevin Vinkavage, you saw in that play, has been really getting off his feet and doing a nice job. A lot of times, if you're a big kid like 6'5", you think you don't have to jump, but he's managed to get some good air between he and his shoe soles.
That's the biggest thing to convince some of these kids that are 6'5" that they can play at 6'7" or 6'8". Don't play at 6'5", because with the natural height advantage, hey, they do what they got to do. When you can teach them and persuade them to play off their feet, play up in the air, that turns a 6'5" guy into a 6'5" star.
Ben Kopka looking for a 6-point. Got it. Kopka is just a sophomore. And as much as you hate to say it, I'm really kind of looking forward to seeing some of these kids play next year when they've matured.
Well, that's the whole key to the situation. We were talking last time we were down in Plymouth, as C.J. Buffalino looks on here in the last minute and a half. We're talking about Valley West and the young players needing to find a leader and to come up with a big win. They did it in overtime Saturday night at Bishop Hoban.
Bobby Calarco down in Berwick has some of the best young kids, they say, that's been in the program for a long, long time coming through. And Bob kind of whispers that only a couple of these kids are football players.
Keep that between you and me, Connie.
Yeah, you got it. Jason Bruno on the line. Hafey in control of this one pretty much from the beginning. 16-8 at the end of the first quarter, 32-16. They continued the pace at the end of the first half. 42-36, the teams played even, each team getting 10 points in the third quarter. And as we wind this one down, 56-43.
Wyoming area had cut the lead to 20-14 midway through the second quarter. Had a good rush. They cut the lead down exactly in half. Bishop Hafey then turned around and took the lead back out to 12 points, and they were never in danger from that point in the contest.
From downtown, Mike Riddle.
And we've got a 12-point ball game with 1:13 to go.
Have you ever seen a game, Neil, where one coach would substitute he'd put in his substitutes, and the other coach, feeling guilty, has to put in his substitutes, and his substitutes are better than your substitutes, and then you hate to put the starters back in because that doesn't look good either.
Almost happened last night, as a matter of fact, in the North Pocono prep game. North Pocono had a big lead with about 2 minutes to go.
Well, we'll see what happens next Tuesday night when the PCTN sports team, Neil Bennett, myself, Jim Shepard, the guys in the truck, the guys on the camera, head downtown to Bishop Hayfie High School for the game between the Rangers of Northwest and the Vikings. You'll see all of the action here. Canio Costanzo at the first look desk starting at 7:30. Then the game. First scores follows. All that action right here on PCTN. Minute and 13 remain here, and Wyoming area has not given up. They steal the inbound pass, and it goes. Jason Bruno, and it is a 10-point lead. And Riddle going to commit the foul, but he's going to do it the right way. And that is face-to-face, no personal from behind, and no intentional foul is what I wanted to say. And that will send to the line looking for number 53. Do we have him? Yes, Jay DeFalco. And DeFalco boosts the lead back to 11. CJ Buffalino trying to make sure that his kids stay in this, concentrate, and play a full 32 minutes, and that's important when you have young kids. Credit Wyoming area, they have not given up. Ben Kopka with the block shot, and now Stanley Law doesn't go. The tip is no good. Who's got it? On the floor, Kopka fires it up. It goes. 8 points, and Hayfie says timeout, and that's the call that C.J. Buffalino was thinking of making.
Did a favor to C.J. because he's had 4 timeouts, I believe, in the ballgame. That would have cost him a technical if he could have got that one. If the last timeout we saw for Wyoming area was correct, you see the action underneath. This has suddenly become a ballgame with 40 seconds left. That's only 3 shots from the three-point line.
That's a steal, a turnover, and 1 at the buzzer.
That's a ball in your face, man, right there.
Cheerleaders doing a nice job here tonight, and Hayfie all of a sudden finds themselves in a bit of a ball game. 59-50. A reminder, Canio Costanzo standing by at the first scorer's desk immediately following tonight's game. Somebody grabbed that guy. Now they don't need to. Underneath. It's put up. Kopka is going to be fouled by Ryan Rendick.
Well, some of the Warriors fans had left, but some of the fans who stayed are up on their feet in the bleacher section, still rooting this one on with 32 seconds to go.
Will Kopka make the first one and try to rim the second? 32 seconds left. We'll see. First one rattles in and out, and Rendick there to get the rebound, and Ron Gerlach is going to send Pat Lloyd and Dave Stark back in. He is not at all ready.
Now you'll hear the fans.
This one's in the bag.
You'll hear the home fans from Wyoming not appreciate that move, but what you have to do in a situation like that is regain control of the contest. And
you still need
the ball game is the ball game.
That's right. 30 seconds exactly left. 59-50.
Ryan Rendick.
With the first one. Foul is going to be called here on Paul Myers for the block. It's his third. 26 seconds remain. A reminder to you, coming up the weekend of February the 25th. It's American Cancer Society weekend here. We'll be bringing you the telethon and watch for a lot of your local personalities and favorite personalities, we would hope, to be a part of that.
Pass number 3 on the afternoon, 19 yards to Ted Jackson Jr.
Dallas front four has put tremendous pressure on this Wyoming area team all day long.
Second down. Pisano off the option. Bukowski and Brady are there. They wrestle him out at the 49. You know, JP, Dallas is just waiting. It's almost as if they know what the play call is.
Well, I think Paul just showed he was setting up that play. He gave a dive the first time, and this second play was a dive option. And a great block by Mariello on the outside sprung Pisano for some nice yardage.
They're down in 5 situation. Let's watch it again. Quick pitch. We'll watch Bukowski, number 8, stunning through. He's right there.
That's the freeze option, and Pisano had definitely a little more foot speed than Bukowski, so he beat him to the outside.
McClone and Brady came up to fill. Third down. Wagner, right side. Pisano the decoy that time. Well short of the first down.
I thought the right tackle moved that time. The referee had his hand on the flag, but he ate it.
Clock is running, 3:53 to go, third quarter.
Anytime you move Pisano out of that backfield, that loosens up that defense quite a bit because they feel he's going to come out of that backfield looking for a pass.
Fourth down, we'll call it about 2 or 3 yards for Wyoming area. This is a key play. They need a first down. Muriello in motion. Hearn to throw. Complete Pisano. Forward progress. Let's see where they'll spot it.
That's going to be the key right here. They're going to measure this one, I believe.
I think he has
gave it to him.
He got a good spot. It is a first down for Wyoming area. They desperately needed that first down.
What they did is have a strong formation here with Pisano in the wingback spot. They run motion this way, which causes trips, and therefore Pisano is wide open.
This isn't a bad idea, trying to get Pisano the ball by way of the pass, some short passes. First and 10 from the 44. Wagner lone setback, Pisano on the wing. Hearn to throw, Pisano again incomplete. Howe on the coverage. Yeah, Dallas is fired up right now. Maranka thinking the same thing, try to get Pisano the ball by way of the pass, give him some running room.
I think Pisano, when Pisano got out there on the wing, they just moved out on him and said, here it comes again. And that was a nice hit. Anytime you get Dallas on a big hit, that's going to fire up that defense, and they're tough hitters.
Wyoming area found themselves down a week ago, 14-0 to Lake Lehman, came back and won that game 40-20. Timeout down on the field.
Now they call Bukowski rat. I asked Kenny why. He said because he has a pet rat. That wasn't a very nice nickname. I think Kenny gives a lot of these guys nicknames himself.
That's right. And then buys them a pet. Second down and 10, Wyoming area. Pisano in motion. Hearn rolls that way, throws to Karkutsky, the tight end, completed the 40, makes it to the 39, and then it's belted backwards. Whistle is blown. This crowd is really fired up. And so is this Dallas defense.
You give this Dallas defense a little edge, and they're going to go crazy on you. So they've got referees have got to keep them cool. They can get real tough. But Karkutsky's got to get involved more in his offense.
They have to get more people involved in this entire package if you want to see Pisano be a factor.
It's a little delay. Karkutsky blocks first, and he slips out in the flat. He gets his yardage, but they don't let him get any more.
Third down and 5. Trips to the near side. Dallas leading 21-9. Hearn, 3-step drop and throws. Complete. Brendan Burke the reception at the 36-yard line. See where they'll spot it. Looks like he'll be short, and they'll have another 4th down coming up. You have to love the way Dallas swarms to the football.
I thought we told our kids, I think every coach tells the kids, you got to tackle 3-4 guys on a pop, and that intimidates the other team. What they're doing, I think, now is they're trying to get Pisano as a little bit of a decoy and start to use some of the other guys, which is a very good idea right now.
John Howe, the inside linebacker, coming over to make the tackle. 4th down and about 2 when Wyoming area snaps the football. Once again, they have to convert here. 1:30 to go. This time out of the eye. Pisano follows Wagner, stays inside. And looks like he has enough.
It's the first time today that Wyoming area has run the isolation play straight up the middle against Dallas.
Watch it once again. Wagner's been leading the way all season long. Pisano had thoughts about going outside, but then he decided to stay right on Wagner's tail.
I think he did a very good job there. He would have bounced outside. I think they were sitting there waiting for him, and it was a good idea.
1st and 10, Wyoming area once again. 1:08 to go, 3rd quarter. They'll stay in the eye, 2 tight ends. Heron, quarterback draw. Dallas was waiting. Pick up a 2 or 3 on the play.
Dallas is so strong that Wyoming area had a real nice scheme going there for that quarterback draw, but they just could not move the Dallas defensive tackles out of there.
No matter what play is run towards the middle, Mountaineers are staying at home.
They try to move Stragus and Nadson out of there, but Nadson's running all over the place and kind of squeezed the play real tight.
Marty Stragus, the tackle, 76. He stayed at home and made the tackle. 2nd down and 8. This time they have Pisano in the slot. Now they move him back to the eye. Pisano the pitch. Number 43, Pat O'Neill, knifing in to make the tackle.
They're running a pitch out here to Pisano. Absolutely no one goes out there and blocks O'Neill. He comes in by himself on the outside. I think one of the backs was supposed to go out and block the outside linebacker.
The 3rd quarter has drawn to a close here at Lackawanna County Stadium. Dallas has extended their lead over Wyoming area 21-9. We'll be back with 4th quarter action right after this.
AFSCME, the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees. Who are we? We're a statewide union of 95,000 public employees, more than 10,000 in northeastern Pennsylvania, working as employees of our Commonwealth, counties, communities, and private nonprofit health care facilities to protect and improve your health, safety, and prosperity. We're your next-door neighbors.
Why do so many people come to First Eastern? It's because we offer so many kinds of loans. Loans for appliances, home improvements, cars, mortgages, and lots of other good reasons. So the next time you need money, think First Eastern. Here where you need us. First Eastern Bank.
It's the #1 selling truck in the world, and it just keeps getting better. The '94 Ford F-150. Right now, you can drive this F-150 for just $219 a month, and it comes with a standard driver's side airbag. Plus, every '94 F-Series comes with preferred care, which includes 24-hour roadside assistance. See your Quality Plus Ford dealer today. The Truck Authority.
Bad to the bone. Bad.
Got a forecast you can count on from Emmy Award-winning meteorologist Mark Stroh.
Welcome back, everybody. There's the score. Dallas leading Wyoming area 21-9. The 4th quarter is set to begin. 3rd down and 7 when Wyoming area snaps it. And they desperately need to get some points here, JP.
No question about it. If they get back in the ball game right now, it's going to be good for them. If they lose this now and Dallas gets any kind of drive, it's all over.
The backs are split. 3rd down. Heron, roll out. Throwing for Karkutsky, incomplete. Steve Button with some pressure from his tackle position, 4th down.
That's good coverage. I thought they were setting up a screen here. Pisano kind of, as you watch Pisano sitting back on the backside here, I thought they're going to roll this way and throw back. And third in this situation, a nice screen pass would have been in order here.
Watch it again from up top. Heron with a good deep drop, but Button was in there. Had to throw the ball before Karkutsky made his cut.
That's a tough throw. They got the outside linebacker in the eyeball lane, as we call it. I think he had to throw a lob, and it's not a good day for a lob.
4th down and 7 from the Dallas 30. Heron will have to run, and he'll go down at the 28. Dallas holds again. I thought Karkutsky jumped early, no flag on the play, but it really didn't matter.
I thought so too. They might have had a mess-up play there because Heron took the fight right away, looking around. He's looking for somebody who's not where he's supposed to be right now. He can't find him. I think Karkutsky got caught up in the middle of the action, and Button takes the tackle.
Yeah, watch Karkutsky come into the screen. Then he's looking for somebody to block. He was not on the same page with the rest of the team. 1st and 10 now for Dallas. Butkowski to the 34. Butkowski has been a factor in the second half.
What they've done is they're spreading him out again. He went troops formation. Pomeranko pulls a middle linebacker outside, which opens up the middle to trap with Butkowski.
Ted Jackson looking for a time-consuming drive here. Up by 2 touchdowns.
Beat him, Mike. Beat him, Mike. Beat him, Mike.
2nd down and 5. They'll go for the full house. Confusion in the Dallas backfield. Brady will keep it. Brady takes a hit. That goes out of bounds.
Action on the sidelines.
Brady took quite a wallop on the sideline, did not go down, and then the second Wyoming area player came over to level him.
They ran that waggle action from the full house T formation. It looks a little slow in the backfield.
Let's watch that hit once again. Fusion from the Dallas backfield. He really doesn't run that fast. Moriello was in on the first hit. Brady did not go down. Brady's a tough kid. You know, he's 6'1", says he's only 165 pounds. I watched him a week ago in that Dunmore game from his safety position, and he is a tough kid coming up to make tackles all game long.
Well, he's quite an athlete in basketball and baseball. He's an outstanding pitcher, they say, in baseball.
Brady did pick up the 1st down. Line of scrimmage just shy of the 40. Butkowski up the middle again. Keeps his feet going to the 45. Pick up a 5 on the play.
I think you're seeing a little bit of what's called wearing the other team down right now. See some Wyoming area guys starting to limp, and Dallas just coming straight ahead on him. They spread him out that time, but Wyoming area did not pull the middle linebacker out this time.
Butkowski kept his feet, good center of balance. Every 1st down play now, they're giving the ball to Butkowski, the fullback, and he's picking up 4 or 5 yards a pop. Cooney comes in motion. Butkowski now will try the right guard side. He's knocked backwards, short pickup.
Wyoming area slanted their tackles that time, and it prevented Dallas from getting a good, solid block. Here comes a substitution again. 4 new guys coming in the game.
Buddy Rhodes and Matty check in. Butkowski and Kunkel come out.
It's a nice way to keep your players happy.
Keep the other team guessing and off balance. And you have fresh legs in there as well.
He's playing a lot of underclassmen on this second unit that comes in, so he's getting himself ready for next year also.
3rd down and about 4 for Dallas. 9:22 to go, 4th quarter. Buddy Rhodes lines up in the eye now. Ed Matty is the fullback. Now Figlone shifts it to the eye. O'Neal comes over to tight end. Rhodes is at the wing. Figlone with the pitch. Figlone maybe a yard, 4th down. A lot of moving around, but not much of a result.
Usually when they shift the tight end over and a big wing back over to the side like they've done here, they're going to run a pitch or sweep that way. Now, they don't run pitch or sweep very much, as I said earlier, but when they put 27 back there, Viglione, he's the quickest guy they have. You know he's going to get the ball.
It's 4th down. I see Charlie Siglin checking in right now to punt it away. Let's check in with Andy Palumbo. Andy?
John and JP, at the beginning of the game, we showed you how close both sides were. Well, reality is starting to set in here on the sidelines. The Dallas kids, they're all pumped up because they know they're firmly in control. The Wyoming area kids, they're starting to worry a little bit, but they think they've got time to pull this out. We'll see what happens. Back up to you.
They have plenty of time. Siglin with a tremendous kick. Pisano back at the 12. Pisano hemmed in now, picks up a block. He's at the 20, 25, 30, out to the 34-yard line. There you see some of the best from Jimmy Pisano.
His side-to-side movement is unbelievable. He just set up those blockers so well. I thought he was going to break it, but he had a couple of guys just kind of hanging around. Dallas, each team has to have a guy, what's called contain, and they have to stay on each side, making sure that the guy does not get outside.
Siglin with a punt of 40-plus yards. Looked like they had Pisano all the way back at the 12.
Matty has him right in his eyesight here. He's going to cut back on Matty. Slips right by.
Picked
nice
up a good block.
Watch this cut.
Oh, man, was that a hit, huh? 1st and 10, Wyoming area. Now we have a whistle.
I think Teddy's getting the position where he wants to be here. He wants to just play. He wants to play regular defense, just keep his 4-4 in there without getting too fancy right now. Wyoming area would have got another score. Teddy would have had to keep mixing up his defense a little bit.
We'll have to have Andy check out what that's all about. There may be a problem with the clock on the field and the clock on the scoreboard right now. We'll check into that. Hearn to throw, 1st down. Steps up, throws, complete to Burke. 47-yard line and a 1st down. Was he over the line of scrimmage? Did Hearn look like it?
Very close to me. They're putting Pisano outside again, trying to get the ball to him. Let's see here.
We can get this straightened out.
Oh, I don't know. Very close. Good call by the officials.
In any case, it is a 1st down. Pick up a 12 on the play. Brendan Burke worked into the offense. Wagner now up the gut. Wagner to the 45. Pick up a 2, 2nd down.
Wyoming area was in a 2 tight end and 2 flanker set that time with Wagner alone in the backfield. A lot of coaches will do that, spread everybody out. That's what Teddy's done all day long. Spread them out and see if they can take a linebacker out of the lineup and give that quick trap to the fullback.
Scoreboard clock at 7:07. Pisano lines up inside on the trips. Hearn to Pisano. Pisano, some nice moves. Slips 3 tacklers. And gets all the way to the 38-yard line. Pisano needs a little more help. He has to pick up a few blocks. He's doing it all on his own right now.
He's one of those guys who they all say can make you miss. Bukowski was supposed to be out here a little bit quicker, but he gets out late. Right there, he misses the hit.
Brady missed as well. 3 players missed before Pisano was finally brought down. 3rd down and 1 for Wyoming area. Pisano checks out. Looks like he has a small problem. They're working on his shoulder or bicep. Out of the eye. Elko in at the tail. Good run to the 34 to 1st down.
When you bring the new guy in and give him the ball right away.
It's Dave Elko, backup running back. Tending to Pisano. You know he's going to get back in there if this drive stays alive. 1st down and 10, Wyoming area. Line of scrimmage just inside the 35. Pisano getting set to check back in. Slot to the far side. Hearn throws incomplete. Bukowski, the defender. Elko, the intended receiver, 2nd down.
You saw a lot of green in front of him then. Kowski has pretty good hands, so it's kind of funny he missed that one.
Watch it once again. Butkowski with the right read. Watched Heron's eyes and just moved right in there.
We tell those guys in practice, you got to get 2 hands on that ball, not 1.
Pisano back in as the lone setback. Slot to the far side. Second down, Pisano up the gut. Have to keep him honest and run it up the middle. It will be third down. Heron comes to the sideline. Watch it again. Pisano's first carry since he checked back in.
What Dallas doing? They're pinching Natson and Stragus here and there. Stragus and they're tough to move at all. And plus they're moving, pinching tight, so you're not going to get anything up the gut.
Third down and 8. Line of scrimmage at the 33. Heron throws for Burke, incomplete. Cooney on the coverage, fourth down.
The old footsteps there, John. You saw the guy right behind him out of the corner of his eye and kind of just shied away from him a little bit.
Good coverage by Cooney.
Dallas doing a nice job of adjusting their inside linebackers a little farther out. We call that eagle. They move out a little bit, and they're getting in the eyeball lane of the quarterback.
Dallas up by 2 touchdowns, 5:06 to go, fourth quarter. This very well could be the game. Fourth down and 8 for Wyoming area. They need to convert. Out of the eye. Heron, bootleg. Heron throws for the end zone. Incomplete. Karkutsky was there, couldn't hold on. Cooney on the coverage. Dallas takes over on downs.
John, he threw that ball on the money. That was right in Karkutsky's hand. I got a feeling the defensive back had his hand up a little bit. You see Heron here fake this way. He bootlegs back out. He might have been able to run this ball for the first down. The defensive man was right out. Might have got his hand in the way and shook his eyes up a little bit.
Ball just a little bit behind Karkutsky as well. But it was a good play and a good call. Yeah, he could have ran for the first down. He saw Karkutsky out there and he said, why not go for it all?
Coaches tell him if that guy is even with the defender, throw it up.
Exactly 5 minutes to go, fourth quarter. Dallas in control. They lead it 21-9. The winner of this game moves on to the state semifinals. Brady to Buddy Rhodes to the 35. Some pushing and shoving going on down there now. Matty and Jackson having some words. Hey, look at that. Hello, John Nugent and JP Mack and WYOU. Full contingent here this morning, and we'll be here for quite a while. This is only game 1 of our high school football tripleheader.
And he never loses the intensity. He's got a nice lead, but he's got the face on.
Out of the full house.
Double fire.
Butkowski is running hard second half. He has been a key offensively and also on defense. It's a more manageable third down call now for Ted Jackson.
You think that he's mean and intimidating here? You gotta see his wife, Sandy Jackson, at Bear Creek Elementary. She's the boss up there. She's tough, too.
Let's watch the replay of Butkowski. Never gets stopped on the first hit, keeps the legs going. Protects the football. That's key, too, as Wyoming area will start tackling the ball. Brady goes down. Tom Loftus, number 40, comes up with the play.
That was that Moses stunt where they based the 2 linemen and sent the linebacker in between. And you know what's going to happen. They're sending their linebackers every down now to try to get that football. Here we go. See the 2 linemen leave the picture. They pull around the corner, and where the offensive guard left, the linebacker stutter right through that hole.
Dallas will have to boot it away. Siglin booted a tremendous punt the last time. We have a timeout. Wyoming area will head for the sideline. Well, while both these coaches try to get this thing sorted out, we're going to take a break. Dallas is leading Wyoming area 21-9.
It's the #1 selling truck in the world, and it just keeps getting better. The '94 Ford F-150. Right now, you can drive this F-150 for just $219 a month. And it comes with a standard driver's side airbag. Plus, every 94 F-Series comes with preferred care, which includes 24-hour roadside assistance. See your Quality Plus Ford dealer today. The Truck Authority.
Bad to the bone. Bad.
Welcome back, everybody. Teddy Jackson and his Dallas Mountaineers need to hold on to this 21-9 lead for another 3 minutes and 36 seconds, and they're headed to the state semifinals to play Bermudian Springs.
Wyoming area has an excellent punt block, which Paul Marenka taught Billy Jones and Nanico. You see all the guys lined up on the outside. They're coming. They're going after
Aaron Moriello, Karkutsky, they're all coming left side. Sigmund gets it away. Another good punt. Pisano comes over. And it goes out of bounds, 32-yard line. Wyoming area will have another shot at it. They have to move down the field quickly.
They've only punted twice, and both punts have been excellent. They also didn't want to punt that ball right in the middle of Pisano's hands either.
Dallas Mountaineers defense came in here. It's the top-ranked defensive team in the state of Pennsylvania for Class 2A teams. Only gave up 6 points to Dunmore last week. 9 points here this afternoon. During their 9-game winning streak, they've had 6 shutouts. Trips to the far side. Hearn to Burke. Across the middle, Burke out to the 40, 42, picks up the first down. Pickup of 11 on the play.
You know, John, a lot of people said the 4-4 defense is a dead horse in high school football, but Teddy proves that if you have the personnel to play it, it's a great defense. Nice looking pair. It takes a lot of guts to come across this middle and catch that ball.
It's been some hard hitting in this game. Talked about fumbles in the first half, all as a result of some tough hits. Wagner lone setback, Pisano on the wing this time. 1st and 10 again, Matty on the blitz. Hearn for the sideline. And Hearn tries to get out of bounds. He did not get out.
And he's asking for that. He doesn't want that clock to run.
Officials say let it run.
That's right.
It's not a good play by Hearn. He had every opportunity to step out. He tried to pick up an extra yard, but now the clock will continue to run. He could have got out there.
Hearn should have got out of bounds there.
2nd down and 4. Hearn throws, and it's intercepted by O'Neill. It's at the 40, 30, 20, 10. Touchdown, Dallas. It's in the books.
That was great by O'Neill. He stepped right in front of that one. He was the guy who made a real great stop earlier for a tackle. He looked like he looked like carrying a couple people on that one.
I didn't know if Pat O'Neill was going to make it.
I thought that Wyoming area definitely had him pushed to the sideline, but they just kind of gave up on it.
The Dallas Mountaineers are headed to the state semifinals. Watch it again. Well, this is the play beforehand when Hearn did not get out of bounds. It's the next play. That O'Neill picked it off. Don't worry, Pat, we'll get that replay for you.
Got a baby face O'Neill there.
Pat O'Neill, a junior linebacker, 6 foot 185. He had a nice tackle on Pisano earlier in this ball game. And that time from his outside linebacker position. That's a dream.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Let's watch it again. Hearn right out for the flat.
It's a quick out, and he's standing right in front of it. We talked about getting in the eyeball lane of the quarterback, getting in the way. They didn't even see him.
Moriello and Chase. Hearn had an angle on him, but he couldn't get there.
Is that called lumbering?
It was kind of in between. I don't know if I'd call it lumbering.
He wasn't a tackle.
But he was almost into that mode. Pat O'Neill.
His name should be Pat O'Neill with a face like that.
Kunkel comes on for the extra point. Dallas's lead at 27-9. Perfect this afternoon on extra points. 2:23 to go, 4th quarter. And Dallas's lead over Wyoming area, 28-9. I think everybody you talked about this game and people making predictions, and everybody was 1 or 2 points either way. I don't think they thought 28-9 would be one of the final scores.
No, this was the big talk of the Valley all week long, and they thought it would be a 1-point ball game, and if if Dallas forced the Wyoming area to pass, Dallas would win this football game with their defense, and that's one of the things that did happen today.
For Pat O'Neill, that was a 53-yard interception return for touchdown. There you see Heron and Pisano playing their final games at Wyoming area. They were the defending champions coming into this ball game. Last year, they defeated Hanover area.
Well, Wyoming area lost an awful lot of people from last year, and people thought they'd be down. But Paul Marenka's an excellent football coach, and he's kept this team together all year.
Teddy Jackson won't relax for another 2 minutes and 23 seconds.
It's the most relaxed I've seen Teddy in a long time.
Let's go down to Andy Palumbo right now. Andy?
We're with Pat O'Neill. We're live on the air, by the way, so be careful. A great run. Tell me about it.
I don't know. I backed up for the pass, and the ball came to me, and I just grabbed it, and I saw the end zone, and I just took off. And
did you know you'd have a TD as soon as you grabbed the ball and you looked down there and you saw daylight?
I just ran as hard as I could. I didn't know what was going on.
You're a little winded.
Yeah, a little bit.
All right, back up to the booth, John and JP. Thanks, Pat.
It's called a state of mind. You don't know exactly where you are or what you're doing, but you know you got to get to the end zone.
Oh, he reacted perfectly. I think he's more winded from the guys jumping all over him when he got in the end zone than running down there.
Still a little bit out of breath after 53 yards. When he goes home, you know he has the VCR cooking. He's going to watch that thing for hours. Forward, backwards, speed it up, slow it down.
Is that really me?
Hey, it's a highlight for a lifetime. Wyoming area comes to the line, 1st and 10 from their own 35. They've made a number of substitutions. Paul Marenka has conceded. Elko on the pitch. Picks up 4. 2nd down.
I think Teddy saw that Wyoming area has substituted. Now he's going to substitute some kids now. Just to really get in this game, you know.
You want to say that you played in a championship game. You want to say you played in a championship game at this stadium in front of this many fans on live television. It's a thrill for these kids. Novak comes in now at quarterback. Ben Kopka on the carry. His first, out to the 40, 3rd down.
Well, the only negative thing, you've got to be outside practicing and stuff for another week. But I don't think they'll mind too much going in the States.
Remember last year's state semifinal game, one of them was played here at Lackawanna County Stadium between Valley View, Bermudian Springs, and there was a blizzard going on during that game.
You couldn't see the lines on the field. It's kind of like the Dallas Cowboys game the other day in Miami.
So it will be Dallas and Bermudian Springs in the state semifinals. Under a minute to go. Kopka is 2nd carry over the 40 to the 42. Dallas, the 2nd team, still hitting as hard as the 1st team.
A lot of substitutes.
Just 25 seconds as they are getting the water ready for Ted Jackson. I want to see his reaction to this.
Well, I can relate to that, how cold it was last week.
They're going for him now. Let's watch him.
I can see this. They're sneaking up.
Cooney, Brady, O'Neill, Putkovsky, and they got him. Look at Ted Jackson. It's almost as if he knew it was coming, but he just forgot.
They got it.
The Dallas Mountaineers, District 2, Class 2A champions. They have defeated Wyoming area 28-9, and now it's celebration time.
They deserve it. They've had a great season. The defense they played is tremendous. You haven't seen defense in the Valley in that long a time, and they're a great football team and got enough points to win all the time. And today they put a lot of points on the board.
Dallas jumped out to that early lead. Wyoming area responded and trailed 7-6, but from there on in, Dallas just shut down Wyoming area's offense. Pisano could not get on track. Teddy Jackson's team now moves to 12-1. Wyoming area will end their season at 11-2. Paul Marenka, another outstanding job.
I don't know if there was gray hair or frost on Teddy's head at this point.
I'm sure he had a few gray hairs from this one.
Paul Marenka is an excellent coach and a class guy, and I'm sure he'll be back.
The final once again from Lackawanna County Stadium. Dallas takes the District 2 Class 2A championship 28-9. We'll be back with more right after this.
Patience is a virtue. But tell that to a company with cash flow problems. It's not easy being in business these days. But in adversity, you discover the true caliber of the people and organizations you deal with. I always say a business shouldn't have to prove it doesn't need a loan to qualify for one.
If you're about to lose all patience with banks that don't deliver, don't give up. See Franklin first.
Team spirit, the desire to win, and great memories. It's all part of the game you're watching. Today, the players and fans are thinking about victory. Tomorrow, students and parents should be thinking about college. I'm State Senator Bob Mello. The Pennsylvania Higher Education Assistance Agency operates a loan and grant program for qualified students. If you're thinking about college and you need help paying for it, find out if you qualify for a FIA loan or grant. Hey!
It's the #1 selling truck in the world, and it just keeps getting better. The 94 Ford F-150. Right now, you can drive this F-150 for just $219 a month, and it comes with a standard driver's side airbag. Plus, every 94 F-Series comes with preferred care, which includes 24-hour roadside assistance. See your Quality Plus Ford dealer today. The Truck Authority.
Bad to the bone. Bad.
Today's WYOU Sports District 2 championship game is brought to you by your Quality Plus Ford dealers. State Senator Bob Mello, the President Pro Tempore of the Pennsylvania State Senate. Ask Me Council 13. And Franklin First. When it comes to banking, see Franklin First.
The celebration continues here at Lackawanna County Stadium. Dallas, the District 2 Class 2A champions. They defeated Wyoming area 28-9. Andy Palumbo down on the field with Teddy Jackson.
Yeah, we've got a lot of people down on the field. First of all, Charlie Mecca, who is Secretary-Treasurer of District 2. He's got a little presentation for us.
Coach, on behalf of Jim Davis and District 2, we'd like to present you with the championship trophy. Congratulations and good luck in the state playoffs.
Thank you very much.
Hell of a job.
It's a great job.
Coach, you came in here and beat a very tough Wyoming area team. Tell me how you did it.
Our kids played a great game. It's hard to explain. I said we had a very emotional game. Our defense was just phenomenal. We gave up a couple things. We actually gave them the ball 3 or 4 times in the first half. I thought we played a great first half except for turnovers, and our kids just had a dominating second half on both sides of the ball. They said we couldn't run against them, and we ran the ball real well today, and we made the pass plays to do it. I can't say enough about the kids from Dallas. They're tremendous. The coaching staff, Harry Gulick, Bill Sylvie, Scott Francis, and John McNeil did a great job preparing our kids for the game. They were just fantastic, and it's as good as any group that's ever been in Dallas.
You also forced Wyoming area to go to the air, take them away from their strength with this Jim Pisano on the ground. Tell me about that.
Well, you know, you got to find Pisano, and you got to try to get to him and hit him. As you know, that was our game plan, try to force them to throw. We know they're a great running team, and Wyoming area is a great football team. Paul Marank is the best coach around, and we were very fortunate today, and our kids just had an outstanding effort.
One of the newspapers said Wyoming area by 3, so I guess we can sort of consider this an upset, even though a lot of people considered thought this would be the closest game of the 3 we're covering today, and you not quite blew them out, but you have a sizable win here.
Well, both teams are 11-1, and you know, they're #1 in the state, and we're ranked 2 in the state, and you know, it was just a great ball game. I'm happy to be a part of it, and I'm thrilled for the kids of Dallas.
What went through your mind when you saw that pickoff at the end of the game, run it back for a touchdown?
Well, then we hoped then it was over. Until that point, Pisano was such a weapon, we were still very cautious, and the kid made a great play and ran it back for a touchdown. Just weak and dizzy.
Coach, fair enough. Thank you. Good luck. Talk to you later. Let's go back up to John and JP.
Ted Jackson, he's really exhausted after we get done interviewing him, but he'll enjoy this one, and his son had a touchdown to boot, so that's a little extra night as well. But as Teddy said, you know, this game was still up for grabs until Pat O'Neill, the outside linebacker, picked off this football and returned it 53 yards for a touchdown.
There are so many guys that you talk about all the time, the Pisanos and the Bradys and stuff, but a guy like Pat O'Neill kind of quietly does his job, and that's super. I know Teddy gave credit to, I want to give credit to Billy Sylvie, who's an offensive coach at Dallas. He's really helped Teddy out a lot with the offense and contributing to that, and they scored a lot of points today.
Ted Jackson's such a competitor. He's a little ticked there that his team threw the water on him, but he says, I'll take a bath like that anytime if we can win a championship. So now Dallas moves into the state semifinals. First time ever. They'll take on Bermudian Springs at a site to be announced in just a day or two. You know, at the beginning of this season with this Dallas team, you know, Brady came back, but really there was a lot of question marks as whether or not they could go this far this year.
Well, I think in the middle of the season there, they lost to Tunkhannock with a great effort by Reuben Sherman, and there were some questions on you know, how tough they were. But boy, as soon as that game was over, Teddy just established that defense and started to get the offense going a little bit with Brady. And like I said, he's the best passer in Dallas's history. Yeah. So they put both things together, and they just shut out everybody along the way. And they just did a great job.
Brian Brady, outstanding today, throwing the football, running the football, also from his defensive back spot. There you see Teddy Jackson down on the field awarding his son a medal, and the rest of the team as well. Now, we'd like to remind you, this is just part one of our high school football triple header here this afternoon. In just a few moments, we're going to head on down to Crispin Field in Berwick, where Terry Gurn and Scranton Prep coach Tony Contafio standing by to call the action in that Eastern Conference AAA championship game featuring Shamokin and the Berwick Bulldogs. The Bulldogs riding a 27-game winning streak. They are the defending state and national champions. And at 4 o'clock, right back here to Lackawanna County Stadium, where J.P. Mack and I will be standing by after we have lunch to call the action in the District 2 AAA championship game between Wallenpaupack and North Pocono. So stay tuned right here. We're going to be on the air right up until the final play is called. And if we remember last year, we were here for quite a long time, Nanticoke and Prep playing into overtime in an exciting game we had here last year.
Well, it got dark.
Yeah, it's going to get dark here again tonight. The final once again here at Lackawanna County Stadium. Dallas, District 2, Class 2A champion, 28-9, the final over Wyoming area. They are headed to the state semifinals. For my partner, J.P. Mack, Andy Palumbo down on the field, our entire crew, I'm John Nugent. We'll see you again at 4 o'clock. Bye-bye, everybody.
Dear Midas, my brakes were making a terrible squeaky noise. I brought my car to your competitor, and without any inspection, he said, "You need new brakes." Then I went to Midas. Your manager...
Hi, I'm Tom Kirshner.
...had a thorough inspection done and said,
"You don't need new brakes. The squeaking noise is caused by brake dust."
Such honesty is refreshing in the time of auto repair rip-offs. Yours truly, Frank J. Ruder.
Now, the latest news from the 24-hour news source, WYOU.
Good afternoon. A Scranton child is dead after a shooting last night. A 6-year-old boy was shot at a home on South Webster Avenue. He died at CMC Hospital. His name and circumstances surrounding the shooting are not being released at this time. A man is dead following a 2-car crash in Wilkes-Barre. It happened at Metcalf and Empire Streets around 8:30 this morning. Clouds and rain today with highs in the 40s. We'll have more news in 1 hour on WYOU, the 24-hour news source.
The only thing standing between the Dogs of Berwick and their second consecutive Eastern Conference Class AAA championship are the Indians of Shamokin. Shamokin, a team with memories of last year's semifinal loss at Crispin Field, last week fought back to defeat a tough Scranton Prep team in overtime to set up a rematch with Berwick. The Bulldogs, the juggernaut of local high school football, have overcome a key injury at quarterback to shoot down opponent after opponent in their quest for back-to-back state titles. Berwick reloads and Shamokin remembers. It's the Indians versus the Dogs on Championship Saturday. Both teams within reach of the Eastern Conference Class AAA trophy.
WYOU Sports presents the Eastern Conference AAA Championship game. Today, the Shamokin Indians take on the defending state champion Berwick Bulldogs.
This is Crispin Field in Berwick, where many an opponent comes in with high aspirations, only to leave disappointed. Hello, everyone. I'm Terry Gurn, along with Scranton Prep head coach Tony Cantafio, bringing you the AAA championship game of the Eastern Conference. And someone who knows a little bit about winning in the Eastern Conference, of course, is George Curry. The Berwick Bulldog head coach will be vying for his 8th Eastern Conference title here this afternoon. George already has 2 state championships to his name, looking for a 3rd this year. Tony, a lot has been made about the Berwick offense, but their defense certainly doesn't take a backseat to anybody, led by number 40.
Dave Popane, 150 tackles this season, will become the career leader before this game is over. Incredible football player.
He is a big hitter, and he'll have to contend with a huge Shamokin team today.
How's 340-pound Chris Waugh sound to you? They are huge. And Berwick's quickness in order to try to hold down that running game of the Shamokin Indians.
That'll be a key this afternoon. You know, Shamokin was knocked off here last year in the semis of the Eastern Conference, so they certainly have revenge on their minds. Berwick and Shamokin, opening kickoff is next.
Today's WYOU Sports Eastern Conference Championship game is brought to you by your friends at Toyota. For quality and value, see your local Toyota dealer. The First National Bank of Berwick, the Geisinger Health Plan, and ASME Council 13.
The First National Bank of Berwick, in touch with local residents for over 127 years. We'll still be here tomorrow, ready to fill your needs with quality personal service. Visit the First National Bank of Berwick at 5 convenient locations. We're staying in touch with you in downtown Berwick, on 3rd Street in Nescopeck, on Fowler Avenue in East Berwick, on Fries Avenue, Berwick, and on Route 11, Scott Township. Ask about the convenient services of personal touch banking. The First National Bank of Berwick, always in touch with you.
The doors are open in 93 to the best of 94. The best of 94! It's Toyota's first sales event of the new model year. Their silver anniversary option package savings on Corolla. And a Toyota Touch lease that makes it easy to get into Corolla. A benchmark of quality in America for 25 years. Take advantage of our one-price 2- or 4-door Tercel DX with option package savings, either one price. The best of 94 sales event makes November the best time to buy. The best Toyota!
In my job, I travel around quite a bit, and everywhere I go, it seems people are worried about their family's health care. Well, the way I see it, there's only one health plan that makes sense, the Geisinger Health Plan. It covers just about everything 100%. No deductibles, no claim forms, and hundreds of doctors. But if those aren't enough reasons to pick Geisinger, I got one more for you. I know how good their care is.
Don't miss the Golf Show, brought to you by your Pride of Pennsylvania Buick dealers.
Welcome back to Crispin Field in Berwick, everyone. Terry Gurn, along with Scranton Prep head coach Tony Cantafio, getting set for a big ball game this afternoon. We promise to have a good one for the Eastern Conference AAA Championship, and it is a perfect day for football weather-wise as far as the temperature is concerned. A balmy 49 degrees here. The winds could be a problem. They're out of the southeast at 20 miles per hour, but they are gusting at times up to 35 miles per hour. The humidity at 65%. Basically perfect football conditions. The fans are ready and the players are ready as well. And the referees, an all Big 11 crew this afternoon, led by Jerry Kudajeski, the referee. The umpire is Jim Miller. Paul Yanisco is the linesman. Line judge Tom Finan, and the Zangi brothers, Ross and Mike, the back and field judge respectively. And we are underway at Berwick. Shamokin back to receive this kick at the 20-yard line. It's Jamie Wisłowski. He's got a hole up the middle. Wisłowski breaks loose. He's at midfield. Wisłowski to the 30-yard line. And all of a sudden, Shamokin breaks out on top of the first play of the game. Touchdown, the Indians. An 89-yard kickoff return, and what a way to begin this ball game. Tony Wisloski had a hole right from the start. That's the way you have the wedge built up, and it worked to perfection there.
Jamie, 5'10", 145-pound junior, great quickness, takes the ball, almost slips there. Excellent wedge blocking. He's going to breaks a one tackle there, and then he just uses his speed, and he's gone.
Oh, talk about that speed. He really accelerated. He hit about midfield, had a couple of would-be tacklers in the area, but then just basically ran away from him. That is something that doesn't happen too often here against Berwick. And
what an emotion builder for Shamokin.
Boy, they couldn't have asked for a better start. Greg Klebon now back to tack on the extra point. This guy is money in the bank as far as extra points are concerned.
Strong leg.
And he made that one. Hooked it in there. The extra point is good. And welcome to the Eastern Conference AAA Championship, folks. It's going to be an exciting one, we promise you. And all of a sudden, it's 7-0, one play in the books, and we've got a score. Well, this is a good test for Berwick, Tony. Something that they're not used to early on is having to be down at any point of the game. Well, but from the first play of scrimmage, that's very rare.
Scoring drive, plays one, total 89, 14 seconds. Well, on that one, Terry, as a matter of fact, when we played Berwick, we scored first real quick in the same kind of a situation. Berwick formerly opened kickoff, and they were able to come back very successfully against us.
That's right. Good point. What do you see from Berwick this afternoon offensively, Tony? What are they going to have to do to offset Shamokin's defense?
Well, I think they're just going to keep, Georgia's going to keep using his multiple formations and mix the pass in with the running game that he's found very successful this last half of the season.
J.J. Cleaver and Ross Stoiko back deep for the Bulldogs to receive the kick from Greg Klebon. And Berwick is going to be hard-pressed to match that kickoff return by Jamie Wisloski. An electrifying way to begin this AAA championship. We'll see how Berwick responds as they get the ball for the first time this afternoon.
Kicking into the wind here, it'll be interesting to see how far this ball goes down the field and what kind of field position Berwick receives. Oh, and they don't want to kick it to him, Terry.
Klebon squibs it. Number 21, Ryan Traw has it, but he's wrapped up there quickly in a hurry at about the 27-yard line.
Great kick coverage for the Shamokin Indians on that one.
Not a bad idea, scribbing it down the field as the Bulldogs go on offense. We take a look at that line up front. Vinny Kishball and Sean Steimling is in the lineup due to his size to offset the huge size of Shamokin. Josh George is in center, Bobby Krupp the guard, and Jason Kalbach the other guard. The quarterback, a good one, sophomore Dave Robbins, Jeremy Kishball the fullback, Ross Stoiko the tailback, Keck, Michael, and Bennett the receivers. 1st and 10 for Berwick at the 27. It's the counterplay to Stoiko off the left side. He gains about 5 yards. Pretty good run.
Good success there. Looks like got a penalty, late flag.
He's got a late flag against Shamokin. Let's check out this flag before we go to the Berwick defense and see what that penalty is all about.
I believe Terry got a personal foul, late flag on Shamokin. It'll cost him 15.
That's exactly what it is. And as well as Shamokin began the game, that's something they have to stay away from here this afternoon. Let's check out the Indian defense led by Big Chris Waugh, number 65. John Wellish is the other tackle. The nose guard is Tom Taylor, number 55. Carl Baskett and Joe Bridie, the defensive ends. The linebackers, Jeff Steele and Harry Reed, and the secondary is a good one. Chad Ritchie, Brian Stamets, Jamie Wisloski, and Tony Benedict.
I think we're looking at a four-man front here, a little different look for Shamokin to start this. They're looking at a 4-3. They're playing a straight man here, Terry.
The trap play off the right side to Stoiko.
Looks like that same counter, Terry, coming back this way. The left last time, coming back to the right side on that last play.
Well, that's the same way they started last week against Bethlehem Catholic with some success, actually. They drove right down the field on the first play from scrimmage. Brian Stamets, the quarterback, coming up to make the tackle there, a two-way player for Shamokin. Both teams have a couple of two-way players out there, but you look at this Berwick offense, very young team. So they're going to be something to contend with for the next couple of days, or next couple of years, rather. Here Berwick goes with the spread formation.
Double slot. He got a straight ahead, full back on, we call that. And they just spread them out and and got that four-man front and just made a scene for him.
We've seen it time and time again. Berwick spreads the field and then it gets the quick hitter right up the middle. Jeremy Kishball, the sophomore fullback, takes it for a big gainer up the middle for the 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line of Shamokin.
And Jeremy comes out. He got his one big gainer, and George keeps shuffling his formations in there. Comes strips to our side here and split in on the top. He's got them spread out again.
Stoiko, the lone setback, gets the call up the middle. Not much running room.
Same
Gain
play.
About 2 yards.
You want to call that a zone or an on, Terry? They just the up front men just want to take those down people where they want to go and let the back find the hole. And not much there that time.
Well, we should point out that the wind was a factor last week. Really took George out of his passing game, but they were able to run the ball with measurable success. The wind is gusting this afternoon, so that will be taken into account here. I'm sure Curry wants to get that running game going early.
You could see there they didn't move number 65 Waugh there, and that big front for Shamokin gave him some troubles there.
You're not going to move him very far. Second down, we'll call it 8 for Berwick. We go with the old shovel pass. Dave Keck, but it's read beautifully by Steele, the leading tackler for Shamokin. Steele stays home and makes the big stick.
Steele, 5'8", 200-pound senior. What one tough football player. He stayed at home. He did just what he was supposed to on that. Now Berwick is going with the wind on this, Terry, so you'll see what George is going to do here with a 3rd and 9. He's probably in 4-down territory.
Yes, I would say so. Almost a definite passing situation here. You'd say a 3rd and a long 9. They go with the T formation.
They're going to
shift out of it. Robbins out of the shotgun.
Let's watch Bennett
to the right side.
Bennett up the seam.
Keck has trouble, and Steele blitzes through to make the sack. Big blitz that time by Steele coming on the Red Dog, and Robbins didn't have a chance.
No, that's the stunning game that Coach Secatano was telling us about before the game that they're going to keep doing, and they like it. Here, that's a delayed blitz. You see Steele coming right up the middle there and a great ankle tackle. He's got very good quickness for his size and his strength.
On formation now for Berwick. Mike Bennett is back deep, and the dangerous one, Chad Ritchie, back to return it for Shamokin. A high towering punt. It's a beauty. It's going to go all the way to the end zone, however, for a touchback. So Shamokin will take their first possession of the game at the 20-yard line. Well, that's a good defensive stand for Shamokin. I tell you what, they couldn't have started this game any better. A kickoff return, and then they hold Berwick. Berwick is traditionally very confident on their opening drives, and they're usually pretty adept at scoring on that first possession, but Shamokin comes up big.
I'd say right now Mr. Momentum is on Shamokin's side, and this will be interesting with the wind against them if Shamokin can get their running game and get it out of their half of the field.
Good look at Sam Shikatano, the first-year coach. What a job he's done here this year with the Shamokin Indians. That's the run off the right side. Not much by Scott Kurtz as we check out the Shamokin offense now. A huge offensive line. Chris Wall, Tom Heitzman, Eric Knoll, Joe Brady, and John Walsh up front. Backs and receivers. Brian Stamets, the quarterback, a junior, does a pretty good job. Steele is the fullback. Scott Kurtz, he is a quick back at the tail. Shikatano, the first-year tight end, and Chad Ritchie and Jamie Golden, the wide receivers. Keep an eye out on number 4, Chad Ritchie. He is dangerous. Power I formation. The handoff goes to Ritchie. He's got some running room to the outside. Ritchie's at the 30, the 40, before being driven out of bounds at about the 45-yard line by Dave Beaupain. But a beautiful game for Shamokin, and they are in business. 28-yard gain down the sidelines for Chad Ritchie. Let's check out that Berwick defense now. Up front, you have Stoker and Wolf at the tackles. Wolf with 8 sacks on the year. Mike Kaufman is the nose guard. Greg Michael, the defensive end, along with John Lipsey. The linebackers, Dave Beaupain, probably the best linebacker in the area. Jason Knaus, his counterpart. Secondary is a good one. Bennett, Keck, B.J. Hayes, and J.J. Cleaver. 1st and 10 from about midfield for the Indians. Power I formation. The pitch goes to Kurtz. He runs into his own man, but makes something out of nothing. Actually gets driven back. Big stick there by Cleaver as he's driven back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
kind of a slow developing play that time, Tony.
Yeah, Mike Kaufman using his quickness from the middle guard position and was able to get off the center's block. And yeah, here it comes. He ran their toss from the power eye. Look at number 20, Kaufman, right down the line of scrimmage, being just where he wants to be, and makes the initial hit, and they stop Kurtz for a very short gain of about 1.
Boy, nice effort by Kaufman there, making the tackle from his knees. 2nd and 8 now for the Indians. They go with a split formation out of the backfield. The reverse handoff goes to Kurtz. He bounces away. Nice move. And picks up the first down. What a tremendous effort by Scott Kurtz. Individual effort.
I don't know what more you can say about it. Back like Scott Kurtz. He's so built and so low to the ground. Got a real low center of gravity, and you really have to hang on when you make the...
Well, you got a first-hand look at this guy last week, Tony. What do you think about
that? There's a little counter play. Look at him bounce off the Kaufman and number 20, and then bounce to the outside and just run. Look at, he broke another tackle. 9-yard gain, just refused to go down. He got 3rd and short.
Michael couldn't make the tackle his way. Close formation, power formation up there. No, fumble, ball is loose. It's a scramble, I believe. Berwick has it, but we'll wait for the signal, and indeed it is Berwick football. Shamokin makes a big mistake while they're driving, and there is an injury on the field. Number 70 for Berwick is down, and that is John Stoker. He is a key individual in this Berwick offense and defense as well. He's really holding that forearm and visibly in pain as he checks in with the trainer. 240-pound lineman, goes both ways, 6'3", and he's a tough kid. He's been starting for a couple of years here at Berwick. We'll have to check in with Colleen Connolly, who's working the sidelines today, check out on that injury, see how he's shaping up as he comes to the sidelines. And Berwick's got a chance now to get something going after a big turnover, Tony.
Well, that Shamokin put a couple nice runs together, and they were in real position to get another first down, and then we had a little mishand-off there. It's quarterback-center exchange really hurt Shamokin there. Let's see how Berwick can take advantage of this.
Once again, they have dual receivers to the right side. Robbins the spread out, and he's going deep. Robbins looking for Bennett. Stamets intercepts the ball at the 5-yard line. That's another turnover now for Berwick, something that they don't want to do. George Curry always goes up top, tries to get the big bingo after a turnover. That time it backfires.
Like Brian Stamets, 6'3". He's one of the few guys I know as defensive back with that kind of size that can stay with Bennett.
I tell you what, Stamets did a great job of defense here, Tony.
It's great position. Look at the body position right there. Played the inside. The sideline helped him there, and he became the receiver when the ball went in the air.
Good point there. Bennett didn't have a chance on that one. Robbins just chucking that one up for grabs, and Shamokin takes over now at the 5-yard line. The handoff goes to Kurtz. There's nothing there. Kaufman again is planning some help there from the defensive back, comes up to make the tackle. The third member of our crew, as we mentioned, is Colleen Connolly, and she joins us now from the sidelines.
Terry, if you're wondering what happened to John Stoker, I spoke with the team doctor. He says he extended his elbow a little bit. They took him into the locker room to make sure he's okay. He may be back. They're not sure. They'll have to check later. Back to you guys.
Okay, thanks a lot, Colleen. That would be a huge loss for Berwick. They have to get Stoker back in that lineup, an intricate part of the Berwick offense and defense. Take a good look at Kaufman there on a couple of big plays defensively for Berwick. Shamokin comes out now, 2nd and 8. The counter play once again to Wisloski. He has a hole for a moment, but then is dragged down by number 40, Dave Beaupain. You're calling this guy's number a lot this afternoon.
Dave Beaupain. Okay, it's a little counter action out of the I formation. Beaupain takes his reads and down the line of scrimmage, and he's just where he's supposed to be. Makes the tackle, and he's certainly going to be, as we said, the end of this day, the career leader for Berwick Bulldogs in tackles.
I know it's early, Tony, but it seems like the Berwick offensive line is doing a pretty good job of drive blocking and position blocking on Berwick right now, controlling that line of scrimmage.
Well, that's what they want to do all year, Terry.
Power high left side. They run it back to the right side, and this is Chad Ritchie, the explosive one. He is one tackler away from breaking it as Dave Keck drags him down at about the 20-yard line, but not before Ritchie picks up the first down, and he is one exciting player to watch. Any given day and any given play, he can break it.
All right, Berwick gave him a TNT look, and Shamokin had the perfect play. They came into C-gap off tackle, and it was wide open, and he just made big yardage there.
Dave Keck comes up to make the tackle, otherwise he might have been gone for the touchdown.
Chad Ritchie, outstanding speed.
He is one heck of a player. It's 1st and 10. Shamokin trying to get a drive going here, and they give it to Jamie Wisloski, but A tremendous effort right there by number 86 for Berwick, John Lipsy. He was in the backfield, shunned off a blocker, and made the tackle at the same time. Tremendous effort by Lipsy.
That excellent defensive end technique. John Lipsy, 6'1", 210-pound senior, made a big play there.
Take a look at this one again.
There you just beat the blocks. Just beat the blocks. Lipsy in great position. That's the play they hurt Berwick with the series before that. They came short side off the power eye.
Well, you're not going to hurt Berwick too many times with the same play. They are adept at making adjustments. This is Scott Kurtz. Tries to bounce it outside, but is unable to. He's dragged down. And that was a big third down play by Berwick. It may force Shamokin into a punting situation now. Gain of maybe a couple yards on the play.
Well, Shamokin, Coach Cicatano does not like to be in this position at 3rd and long. The passing game is not their strength. And against the wind, they put themselves quite a predicament here.
That's a good, very good point, Tony. If Shamokin is not successful on 1st and 2nd downs here this afternoon, they are going to dig themselves a big hole.
They got single back.
We've got 3rd and 12 right now. Berwick. Looks like they jumped the line of scrimmage with 2:14 left to play in the first quarter. Stamets might have drawn him offside with that staggered count. And they're going to march it off 5 yards the other way against Berwick, so that helps Shamokin out a little bit. But
Brian Stamets is very good at that. Every time they need that kind of thing, they'll use a staggered count to take the heat off them if they're going to try to throw the ball, Terry.
Brian Stamets, not a passer per se, but certainly a guy who can get it done. He's more than adequate quarterback, only a junior, and when he's forced to pass, he can. Look for him to go to his big play guy, Ritchie. They got the draw here, but there's nothing doing. Berwick is right there reading it perfectly. A sea of blue.
Mike Kaufman, number 20. Watch him on this one, Terry. He did an outstanding, just came right around the center and just read that perfectly.
Kaufman's all over the field playing inspired ball today as we take a look at it again.
Here he is. Nowhere to go, just perfect tackle. Just look at that technique, Terry. He was squared up and just took him right on, just the way you try to teach it from day one.
Near the back, that's something you don't want to see. Berwick back to receive this punt. It's number 88, J.J. Cleaver, high towering punt. He's going to let it bounce, and it takes a Berwick roll down at the 48-yard line of the Bulldogs as they take over on offense once again. And I got to believe this is a pretty important drive right now for Berwick. Very rarely do they get shut out in the first quarter. You got a minute 22 to play here. They've got to get something going offensively. I'd assume they'd go back to that running game.
Well, I agree with you here, Terry. They got great field position the 2nd series in a row from the turnover previously to now. They've got great field position. They got the win, and they're only going to have the win for about another minute now, so they've got to take some advantage of it.
Bennett splits to the left. Kish ball, the lone setback, Remley in motion. The inside handoff goes to Keck. He fumbles the football, picks it back up, but I believe Shamokin has it, and they do. We have got a turnover fest going on so far here this afternoon at Crispin Field. Berwick very uncharacteristically self-destructing here in the first quarter.
This is just a little counterplay to the wing, and it's just a bad handoff between the quarterback Robbins and Dave Keck.
That's absolutely right. Robbins may be feeling a little bit of the nerves here this afternoon. Coach Curry doesn't want him to have to win the ball game for him, but in the same presence, he doesn't want him to lose the ball game. Just do what he has to do. The pitch goes to Kurtz that time. Not a very good game that time as the defensive front four for the Berwick line is there to make the stop.
John Lipsy again on that one, Terry. Doing the job that he's supposed to do at that defensive end position. Outstanding technique.
Berwick has tightened it up defensively so far. They're not giving up the big chunks of yardage. Let's see what Shamokin does to counter that. Clouds are looming over Crispin Field right now. It is looking awfully gray out there. We hope the rain or whatever's on its way holds off, as this should be the final play of the first quarter. 2nd and 10, I should say, and the handoff goes to Kurtz. He's corralled only after about a 2-yard gain, and that should do it to end the first quarter. Shamokin has played an inspired first quarter of football as they lead the Berwick Bulldogs at the end of one. The score: